Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the way that they're now saying on the radio that there might be a change of lockdown on the 2nd of December. But then why would you have extended furlough and not lockdown?
Yeah.
So what are they going to do with it?
Sorry?
What are they going to do with it on the 2nd?
Well, obviously lockdown was meant to be eased on the 2nd, wasn't it?
Yeah, things were meant to open again.
Yeah, but obviously furlough was till March.
Yeah, that's right.
And now they're saying on the 2nd that they might extend the lockdown. It's that, or we're going to go back to the 3-tier system.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go from there and see how that happens. But, it's still like 2 weeks away, I suppose, or just under. So we'll soon see.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm
Evening,
honest,
Danielle.
Good
Evening,
evening.
Stefan.
Hey, buddy.
Waves
Thank you.
Yeah.
Every week for your support. Thank you very much.
I don't see this changing, to be honest with you. I don't see us getting out of this lockdown really until
no,
like after Christmas.
I totally agree with that, because what ruined it, I think, was this eat out to help out.
Well, even before that, if you look at like when everything went nuts with all the riots and everything else, and the demonstrations and the protests, I mean, that was the biggest force of people all in one place, all at one time.
Yeah.
If shit was going to spread, that's the way to spread it.
Well, I don't know. Have you heard the new thing that mouthwash kills corona? I'm not joking you. It was on the radio today. Mouthwash kills corona.
Yeah, because mouthwash goes into your lungs, and
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and who snorts mouthwash? Let's be fair. Most of the virus lives in your nasal passages, the back of your throat, and all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't want to snort mouthwash. That's gonna fucking hurt.
You wouldn't have a nose.
It's bad enough drinking it. I'm snorting it. Yeah, it did make me chuckle a little bit when I heard it. And then the other one's the advert about talking about people getting on trains and stuff. And they're like, yes, we use a super antibacterial virus spray. And you think to yourself, well, hold on a minute. Most people just use Dettol, but okay.
I don't get it. People are just, and like the people that wear their mask with their nose out. Oh my God.
Yeah, I did see your thing about it the other day.
It's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just don't be a twat. Like, just end of.
Yeah, these are the people that are going to be like genuine recipients of the Darwin Awards. People that evolution left behind.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I did wonder that, Danielle. I was wondering if you meant Call of Duty or not there, And I worked for Call of Duty. I don't know.
Huh. Just read that.
Yeah, it's gonna, like I say, I reckon it will take about 3 years before we build up a proper immunity to it, before it becomes just like a normal case of the flu, and we start having the serious reactions to it and that sort of stuff. I mean, for a majority of healthy people, the more exposure you get, it does sort of, help your chances of getting over it if you do get it and that sort of stuff, if there's been some sort of exposure. But yeah, I mean, there's still the at-risk groups and that sort of stuff that have got low immune systems, respiratory issues, that they are going to have to be careful.
Especially like the elderly and stuff like that, innit?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go away.
Maybe
It's a
not.
virus. The bottom line, it's the same virus that we get when we get the flu. It's just a mutated version of it.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be there. You know.
Yeah.
It will
Can we
never
not
go
just do like a Corona party and just get it all out the way and over and done with? Just
Mate,
Well, this-
everyone doing that in America.
Yeah.
Like,
And this
holding
this was
these parties.
that's it. And this was the whole idea behind herd immunity, wasn't it? Was to get everybody into big groups, get them to gather, get everyone exposed to it, and then they'll all be going, get over it and stuff.
Or they die.
Well,
Wow.
Daniel's going to be on Wed Women on Thursday. You're actually going to be on it.
Well, we'll see you there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, people do it with chicken pox, don't they? Everyone has pox parties. Just have a Corona party.
And
I
everyone
suppose
be
as long as you've
given
got a
Remy.
vaccine for it as well, it does kind of
Yeah.
help. It's just survival of the fittest. Everyone just all bunched together, and we'll see what happens.
I just love the fact that those really, really smart business people out there have found a way to monopolize on coronavirus. There's always somebody prepared to make money off of everything, isn't there? So,
It's ridiculous. It really is.
holiday booking companies, the companies that book holidays and all that sort of stuff now, they're making their money, right? Because they're making people go and get tests that they have to pay for through companies that they set up the testing facilities with. So they've got to pay 150 quid per test before they can go on holiday. Can't go and get a government one. Can't go and get an NHS test. You have to pay for their one.
That's ridiculous.
And then you've got obviously this big thing now with people making their bespoke designer face masks and that sort of stuff. They're making a killing because face masks are now a fashion accessory.
Well, that's it. You've got to carry one everywhere you go. So
I find myself wearing one, right? And I've got one in my pocket.
Yeah.
Don't know why. It's like keys, phone, face mask. It's like one of them things, isn't it?
It's like a conversation with food yet, then, no?
no, the conversation hasn't started the food yet.
Yeah, we usually
what did
save
you have
that.
to do, Don?
We save that.
Yeah,
we
no,
save
we
that
save
for the
that
end of the
for-
night, don't we?
Yeah, that's like the last hour of the evening. You see,
Yeah, that's just a nice thing to finish off with.
just to make everyone really hungry before you go to bed.
That's it.
Oh, new
No,
flavour.
I'm sure Thursday will be all right for you, Danielle. I'm sure the girls look after you while you're on there.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Danielle's on Thursday.
We'll be there to support you as well. So yeah,
What you vaping?
I've got blue slushy in there at the moment.
Nice.
It's tasty.
This is by far. Oh, where are you? My favourite.
Donuts.
So this is a custard cream after it's been in a cup of tea.
Oh,
Do you know when it's all like soggy and
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah, it's really nice.
I'll have to give that a go.
Yeah, it's really nice too.
Yeah. So, what snakes are you thinking of getting? You said you're thinking of getting some more royals. What are you?
I'm looking at. Well, I was looking at. Yeah, quite a few. I sort of made like a dream list.
Okay.
You know, like a wish list, and they're not hard to come by. It's just like I really want a Mojave. Really want one.
Okay.
But
Well, I can almost guarantee that I'll have babies available come sort of April, May time.
yeah, that's what I kind of want. Like I kind of want younger, not hatchlings, but
Yeah.
to sort of raise them up, than rather just have a adult or
Yeah.
That's the top of my wish. Something lemon, like lemon blast, something.
Okay.
But again, small. And albino, just you've got to have albino royal. I think they're absolutely stunning.
So potentially everything that's on that list so far, I'm going to be producing next year.
Yeah. Albinos obviously.
Strange that.
They're well, albino pied ideally, but
yeah, well, we're heading that direction hopefully, but it's going to take us a few years to get there.
Yeah, that's serious money, man. Like, well, saying that, I don't know, they vary, but
I want to try and combine all three of my recessive genes that I'm working with. So I want to do albino clown pied.
Yeah, nice. Oh, there's just so much I want, but it's like, I ain't got room.
It's the other side of it as well. Is you say like they're not difficult to get hold of, but actually you're looking at like fairly common base genes, and to get the individual base genes now without anything else in the mix is actually quite difficult.
Hard, yeah. I found a couple of breeders who have stuff like that, but man, like they're expensive, especially the albino. Like albino pied female, a year old. Have a guess. How much?
Knowing what the market is now, 500-600 quid.
850.
That's a bit overpriced.
But they're around about 850 to 8. I've seen them. I looked at maybe 4 or 5 different people, and they're all around that sort of price.
Someone's already talking about food.
Chocolate fudge cake.
It's nice, isn't it?
So everyone's train of thought's gone straight out the window now. It's the only thing anyone can think about now is chocolate fudge cake.
Yeah. Well, hold on, I'm back. No, like I was saying, obviously it depends on me with work and stuff like that next year. Obviously, I'll get the garage sorted, and I might devote one wall to a snake rack and just have like 4 snakes or something. Not sure what.
They're a bit like they're a bit like keeping tarantulas, right? Once you go for more than one, you've got 2. 2 becomes 4. 4 become 10.
And that's all in a week.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm looking at maybe some sort of boa or maybe a milk snake, and then
like
don't know.
Different ends of the scale there.
Yeah, I know.
If you get sorted, obviously we took in those 2 rescues the other week, didn't we? So that Hog Island boa that we've got, it's not for us to keep. We're basically looking after that, making sure that it's up to full health, and then we'll be looking for a new home for that. We're rehoming that. And if you want to start with a boa, that'll be a good one to start with, because they don't get super big. The Hog Islands are a dwarf boa.
Yeah, I'd probably be looking at something like that rather than.
So yeah, potential there is that.
Bit by a snake, Tom?
Sorry?
I don't think you heard that.
No.
Have you ever been bit by a snake?
Only corn.
Get a boa.
Yeah, you know about being bitten by a boa, to be fair. Well, hopefully by the time this one's ready to be rehomed, it'll all be fully handled. It won't be head shy. It won't be viv defensive.
But then, like I say, the one that I wouldn't mind getting is like an Amazon tree boa or green tree or something like, one of
I'd
those
rather
two.
have a green tree than an Amazon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They still give you a nasty bite though.
Oh, and yeah.
Extremely, yeah.
Hi, Tyler.
Hello.
Good evening. But yeah, one of those two is definitely on the list, and maybe like a milk and something else. But that would then be sort of like my cap with snakes,
Mm.
Yeah.
because then I wouldn't mind some mantis and stuff as well. So,
Yeah.
once I actually get the garage sorted, it's quite a nice size, so I can sort of like dedicate a room to snakes and mantis if I wanted to,
Yeah.
and then I can dedicate one other side to all of this lot in here.
And then
But
you'll fill
considering
that
it's
room
like
back up with other stuff,
five
won't you?
times the size of what I've got here in this room, just in one side of it.
Yeah. Danielle's just said James got bit in the face and on the lips by a coastal carpet. Well, that's not fun. They've got a nasty bite as well.
I've never liked carpets. Never.
They're a bit unpredictable, aren't they?
Yeah. Just said as well, I really want a retic. Don't do it. Don't do
If
it.
you want to get a big snake that gets to an impressive size, but you
Get a
don't want to, get a burm. Same sort of temperament as a royal, really, but it's a lot bigger. Although saying that, I've got some really arsey royals.
Yeah, I got a few of them.
Yeah, that Mojave female I've got's a bit of a dick. Hello,
Yeah.
Lee.
Hello, Lee.
Mr. Gillam.
Welcome to the evening. Oh yeah, I suppose
yeah,
there's
they
like
can't do it. They live in Canada.
Yeah. How'd the corn viv come along in the end? It's all finished now.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I might end up pulling it apart again to maybe put a background on it. I don't know yet, but like I said, unfortunately, my silicone gun wasn't working, or sort of the end had come off of it. So when you put the silicone tube in it, it just sort of like pushes the whole silicone tube out through the end of the gun. So it's like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Oh,
Messy.
But yeah, so I don't know. I might change it, I might not, but he seems to like it. I mean, he's crawling all over everything. So,
Good.
good.
and the other night, all you could see was like this little head poking out from underneath the cork bark in the middle, just sat there looking at me. It
Yeah,
looked
nice.
like he was almost stuck, but as soon as I
Yeah.
went up there, he was like, and come straight out. But
Yeah,
I think
it's
he's
all
quite
about-
enjoying it.
It's all about just having that little bit of enrichment in there, really, for them. So they've got just something other than a water bowl and a hide. A lot of people sort of tend to go down that route. Stick a hide, stick a water bowl in, done.
But that was all it was in there when he was in the glass one, was basically just two sort of like semi-rounds of cork bark, but they were quite like big really,
Yeah.
and one massive water dish sat at the end. That was it. But then originally it was like kitted out quite well up until I pulled it all apart.
Yeah.
Because I mean, originally he did have a live plant in there, a fake plant in one corner. I bought a massive fake ivy as well when I sort of like tied it to the top and it was all coming down, and there was loads in there, but then I sort of like pulled it apart because I needed all the cork bark for other projects.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we'll get around to like, redoing it. And it was like, eventually it just sort of stayed like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be doing a lot of sort of creative creative stuff over the next couple of days. I said I've got the rest of this week off work. Sarah's had to nip back down to Devon to sort out the last bits and pieces with her mum's house. So I've got the kids. I'm dropping them off in the morning and then picking them up from school. So it would have been a bit pointless me going into work and sort of starting a bit later than normal and finishing earlier. So I just said, like, do you know what? I'll put some leave in. I'll take some time off. Gives me a bit of a break. I've not had a decent bit of leave for a while. So that means during the day while the kids are out, as long as the house is all nice and tidy, that gives me an opportunity to do a little bit of like tidying and that sort of stuff. I've got a few bits of like the husbandry side of life that have sort of backed up. Also, all the normal stuff like the feeding, the watering, and that sort of stuff. The cleaning gets done regular, but in terms of just moving some of the enclosures around and stuff like that, I've got a couple of rehouses that I've been trying to get done, and obviously trying to finish this Aztec build as well. So,
Mate,
I want to get.
It looks so good at the minute.
I want to get that one done. So I'm not finished yet. So I was going to leave it the last picture that I sent you guys, which is pretty much where it's at now. So I don't know if you can see it that well.
Oh, look at that, man. That's so good.
Look how he's casually got that sat next to him today.
Yeah, it's like, I'll put that there just so I can.
I've got everything all set up on the dining room table. So this is where I'm working to do the last little bit because it's too cold in the garage. So I've got all the moss and the stuff on there. It's all set up. But the next thing I'm going to do is build like vines, like old creeping vines that are going to be sort of like growing out of the cracks and creeping down it and stuff.
I do know someone that'll probably buy that after it's finished, mine.
Yeah, I could probably think of someone as well.
Oh, so good.
I feel like I should really find something to go in this one though.
Yeah, dude.
But especially with that, so I've all the background. It's a rock background on it, so I've done all the background for it. The background's finished. The hide is actually a centerpiece, which is the pyramid. So that's going to be like the smarter looking piece, and it's going to be a live planted setup. So I'll have the clay balls on the bottom, a layer of mesh, and then it'll be proper substrate plants will grow in. And then that link that I sent you earlier on to those lights, I'm going to get one of those to go in the top of it, so it's got full spectrum lighting for the plant growth.
Yeah. And they're not bad priced, are they?
I was really surprised with that. So if you look at the Reptisun versions, I know they come with a T5 tube in them and stuff, but if you look at some of the other versions, they're pushing 30-40 quid for the same size.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good price. I'm definitely gonna invest in some of those, and they're so much better, especially if you're looking for stuff for live planted tarantula setups, because they don't require a UV light. So they don't need a UV light. They only need the full spectrum light for the plants, really. So you can get the full spectrum version of that. There's no UV requirement. So it's a lot more sort of slimline and flat packed than your standard Exoterra canopy, because they're quite bulky, which means you can't put your cubes in your cube storage from IKEA.
No.
However, the ones that I was looking at the dimensions of them, if you pull out the extendable arms on them, it will slot into that recess in the top of an Exoterra. So they'll still slide into the cube storage with one of those on top of it.
Sweet.
So I think that's going to be the way forward for the 30cm cubes. Oh, bless you.
Yeah, I think when you've got like a spare bit of time on your hand, Wayne, I think you might have to build, a pyramid for my little blue death fan beetles.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or we could arrange a day where I can come up for a couple of beverages and I can teach you how to do it.
That's the time, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure that'd be a great idea. You know, as soon as we can do travelling again.
Danielle, I think you're being too hard on yourself. You know, that pyramid build that she did for Lee's competition, that was her first ever go at doing any kind of enclosure build or anything like that. And I think for a first effort, that was an amazing effort. And in
Tom, you're in trouble.
and in terms of that,
I'll take your pyramid. It would take prize place in one centre tank.
Yeah, and
I
I've
think
actually.
what you meant was it's a bit hard to post.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you meant, wasn't it? Backpedal quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And like I said to you guys before, it's not really my first time doing this. It's the first time doing it for enclosures, but I've got a bit of experience doing landscape builds and stuff anyway. So I suppose I've got a bit of an advantage from that perspective.
Angel said you cheated.
I cheated.
Yeah.
Did I cheat?
she said you already got the experience.
Well, that's not cheating. I still built it from scratch.
That's knowledge.
Nobody ever asked me if I'd had experience before. It was an open competition.
Did you get that all sorted out, by the way, Wayne?
Apparently, the rest of the stuff should be arriving this week. Because part of it had to be reordered. So he was waiting for a replacement item to come through, which should be getting sent out at some stage this week. I've not heard from him yet. I'll give him a shout. But as I said, I got the e-voucher in advance anyway, which ended up going in part exchange for those two pokies, the Metallica and the Regalis. So I'm quite happy about that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. Although I do feel like now, and I'm sort of getting back into the swing of things, I wouldn't mind taking Steve on in another enclosure build off.
Oh, that's a brave move. It's a bit late now.
Hold on a minute. Should we see if he's free and we'll get him up here and we're
leave it with me, I'm on it.
I mean, hold on a minute. The last time something like this happened, you know, Lee and Steve had to do a live face-off as well.
Yeah. I don't want all the the hype and everything else that went around it. I just he comes up with some really good ideas for enclosure builds and stuff like that, and I'd like to see how I would fare against the master himself.
Hey, Greg.
Good evening, Greg. How you doing? Not too bad, thanks Tyler. How are you? So yeah, I don't know, just like to see how I'd fare. You can't better yourself if you don't challenge yourself, can you?
The message has been sent.
Oh, you stitched me up, haven't you? What have you said?
No. Wow.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, we all know when it comes down to the individual votes and stuff, Steve always wins. He's got the bigger following. He's got his die-hard fans.
Yeah, but then if you'd done it like their Halloween build that they done, where it was anonymous, entries,
That wasn't anonymous.
Yeah.
Everyone knew whose was whose. You had people who were going on there and asking which one was which just so they could deliberately vote for Steve. Which one's Steve's one? Well, that's not the point of this. You're supposed to.
Really good people in the background.
Oh,
Well, sorry about that, Danielle. So disappointed in Lee. I took sides with him over my husband. He
Oh.
promised me.
so, what do you guys think then in terms of those two builds? Honestly, forget hashtag Team Steve and hashtag Team Lee and loyalties and all that sort of stuff. What's your honest opinion about which was a better build?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I looked at Steve's and I mean, don't get me wrong, Lee did do yeah, Steve's was just sort of like, I mean, after seeing Lee's World War II build, I thought,
incredible.
you know, I kind of expected a little bit more from Lee.
Yeah.
Just when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's good, but it's not quite what Lee can do. It was almost like he threw it together the week before the thing and like was like, oh yeah, I've still got to do this. So, you know, sort of like collected what he could from the house and was just like, yeah, there you go. You know, whereas it did look like Steve had taken a little bit of time out to to do what he had to do.
Yeah, see, I like the simplicity of Lee's build. Hey up, Robbie.
Yo.
Ian and Robbie.
Yeah, I like the simplicity of Lee's build. I mean, I get, but both enclosures were absolutely phenomenal. You can't knock either of them for anything. Both absolutely outstanding. They both.
But like I say, it was just after seeing his World War II build, it sort of let me down a little bit with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting. I don't know really. I was expecting to see like the inside of one of the ships with all the bulkheads ripped up and eaten through and all that sort of stuff. It's like something with like a lot of detail in it. But to be fair play to him. Everything that was in that build he made by hand from scratch.
Oh yeah,
Foot went into it, and Steve's build was really good. He had some 3D printed models in there, and
as he does.
Yeah, but yeah, I think though the thing that swung it for me was I was looking at it from the perspective that if I put an animal in that enclosure, if you put it in Steve's enclosure, you'd really struggle seeing it after it goes in. Whereas with Lee's, you had that 360-degree view. The main part, the biggest part of the build was incorporated into the lid as well, so it wasn't too busy inside the enclosure. And both good. But I think if I was going to pick one that I would choose to put something in, then it had to be Lee's for me.
Look at the last comment.
Don't know if I can see it yet.
Which one? Oh, what? This one.
Such a great insult as well. Oh, Robbie's great.
But yeah, I'm not saying that Lee's wasn't great or anything. It was just that I kind of expected a little bit more from him after seeing the first build.
Yeah, no, I get that. Totally get that. How about you, James?
I got to agree with the pair of you, really.
Just on the fence.
Yeah. Well, like exactly what Tom said. Like you see one enclosure, like the World War II. That was wow. That was incredible. And then yeah, I think expectations were higher, but you know they were both
Yeah.
good. I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't do it, so
It was a tough one because you sort of like you look at different elements of it, and whereas one may be better in a certain area, the other one kind of then is better in a different area. It was really tough to.
yeah.
But like I said, that's why in the end, that's all it came down to for me. Was like if I was gonna put something in the enclosure, which enclosure would I rather have on display?
Yeah.
And that ended up being the kicker for me.
Well, once I eventually get these videos out that I've been meaning to finish and get out, but some of those enclosures, by the time everything's all grown in, that I doubt I'll see much in them.
I don't look at the videos out before the end of the bloody year.
Yeah.
But then I in some ways I like that with things because then they feel a bit more secure, and on those rare occasions that you do see them, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you have for tea?
Nothing yet.
What?
No, I haven't eaten yet.
Oh yeah, Sarah's not there, is she?
No. So I had to deal with the boys at tea time, get them all sorted and get them off to bed. Normally one of us will sort the kids out, the other one will get something ready for tea. So I will probably be having my tea whatever time we finish this evening. By which time I'll have no idea what I want to eat, and I'm going to go nuts and raid the fridge because we always end up talking about food last thing. So I'll just be super hungry and want to eat everything inside.
Nothing wrong with
Can't
that,
wait
mate.
to cook anything.
What did you have, Tom? Burger van? One on the hill?
No, not tonight.
Oh, what?
Pork chops, mash, and veg.
I had a proper kids tea. I did. I had
Yeah.
beans on toast, but with those little sausages.
Oh yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, and scrambled egg. Because why not?
I had lunch today. I had a pot noodle sandwich for lunch.
Absolutely
Good shout.
incredible.
So you got to do yourself enough slices of bread so you can dip the bread in and soak up all the juice, but then you've got a couple of slices left to make sandwiches with the noodles.
Danielle put, are all the meals called tea? To be honest, they're not even called tea, but
No, that
It's
very
like
much
dinner,
depends on where
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So most of us Southerners say breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I don't.
If you go up north, you have dinner at lunchtime and then tea at dinner time. Ooh,
It's
pot noodle
breakfast.
toast.
Well, it's nothing dinner tea for me. That's how it is.
I don't do breakfast.
And most of the time, it's just
Oh,
nothing tea. But
Yeah. But I mean, tea traditionally, if you look at dinner was always served at sort of like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was never lunchtime. Lunch was always still lunch, and that was back in the times when people used to have like 5 meals a day. So they'd have breakfast, then they'd have brunch, then they'd have lunch, then they'd have dinner, then they'd have tea, then they'd have supper.
And this was when everybody was like really poor, like, so like, well, stop eating so much food and you'll have a bit of money, like.
Yeah, don't have 12 meals a day and you're all right.
We had to ration everything, and oh yeah,
I got that growing up because my dad was born just at the end of the Second World War. So for the first few years of him growing up as a kid and stuff, he was obviously affected by rationing and that sort of stuff. And both my grandparents used to constantly sit there and tell me I didn't know how lucky I had it and all that sort of stuff. Brekkie, lunch, tea and dinner. Oh no, tea and dinner's around the wrong way.
yeah. That don't work where I live, love.
No, but everything's a bit backwards up there.
Well, to be honest, majority of us struggle going forwards, let alone backwards. But
yeah. See, this is the other bone of contention as well. So even people from up north get confused about this one. So if you say to somebody, "What time is dinner time?" everyone says, "Well, it's early evening, isn't it?" And if you say, "What time is lunchtime?" they always say midday. Yet they call the meal that you have at lunchtime dinner.
yeah, it's true. Huh.
Just to throw that one out there, like.
Yeah, there you go. You know, the useful fact of the evening.
Yeah. Head full of them. Useless facts.
Useless facts are the best.
It's just them random questions that come up in a pub quiz, if anyone remembers what they are.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a pub quiz in years.
I love pub quizzes.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
It's all online now, isn't it? So, you know, you don't actually win any prizes. Just the die-hard quizzes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes it's just nice to test and find out how clever or stupid you are, do you know?
Yeah.
Oh. That puts me out of most categories.
Don't be silly.
Okay.
We all know something absolutely pointless, don't we?
Yeah.
There's
No,
500.
generally, unless I can build something, then my knowledge on stuff isn't very great.
See,
I
I
have a
got
question for you. Fire away, Robbie. He has a question.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't see the comment yet. Oh, there you go.
popped up.
Oh, there we go.
James has clearly got the fastest internet.
Mine's data. This is no Wi-Fi. This is no Wi-Fi at all.
Yeah, but then there's probably the same sketch because if I use my data, it's quicker than my Wi-Fi.
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh yeah, at the minute we've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 devices on our internet.
That
is a lot.
Doctor Who time travel back to before. It's quite a paradox,
at least.
question, isn't it?
This one at the moment, it's not.
All right. Apparently, we've got 11 devices at the minute on our internet.
Wow.
Online.
Well,
Does anyone want to care to?
Wayne, over to you.
It's a paradox, isn't it? You can't answer that one.
Does the TARDIS have a toilet in it, or does Doctor Who time travel back to before he needed a shit?
Start getting into the realms of quantum theory and all that sort of stuff now.
But now I suppose it also depends on how badly he needs one, because he might shit himself on the way there.
Really?
Time
or it goes the other way. You know, if he time travels back to the point he doesn't need one, then he technically cancels himself out, so he never ever needs one. So he never needs to travel back in time.
Or does he just cross his legs really hard?
We should ask him.
I'm so sorry.
Walking around clenching at all times.
Ooh. Oh, it'd be going like a rabbit's nose, wouldn't it? No, anyway.
Is that why he walks around like this all the time?
Yeah. Dead straight. Oh, wow. Huh.
Ah,
Well, I mean, who needs to eat when you time travel? You're always skipping meals.
I suppose it works on the same principle, doesn't it? Just time travel back to before he was hungry.
True.
But then even still, I think if I was to try time travel back and I saw someone eating next to me, it'd be like, now I'm hungry. And then if you carry on, keep time traveling back, then you might end up in a bit of a strange situation.
Where are you going with this, Tom?
I'll let the minds, carry that one on.
I'm sort of waiting for like he's gonna notice stop.
No, I'll let the minds go.
Oh.
But yeah, you could go back so far and all of a sudden be a little baby again and then forget how to time travel and have to live your life over.
Yeah.
You are aware there is no such thing as time travel, Tom? Yeah? Could they think gonna happen, like
You're that person.
Well, it might be.
You're that person that while you're sitting there watching a movie, go, "Well, that's not realistic," can you?
Yeah.
I bet you hate watching Avatar, then, don't you?
Never watched it, mate.
What?
Nah. Apparently, it's just like giant, like Smurfs. They're all blue, and why would you want to?
There's a little bit more to it than that.
I watched it the first day it come out in the cinema, 3D, sat in my big premiere seat.
Was it worth it? Just for the chair, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I give him his credit for how long it took him to then wait for the CGI to come out. I think it was like 5 years or something like that before the CGI had then caught up before he actually released the film.
Yes.
How is time, Robbie? Where are you going with this?
What if you run really, really fast like the Flash? Then you can time travel.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We do travel into the future, but all right, you win that one.
I would like to think so, Greg.
Well, apparently it's in the works, isn't it? The sequel.
It's probably another case of he's got an idea in his head, but it's sort of now waiting for the next stage of CGI or something. I mean, they're now doing like 4D films and stuff, aren't they, or whatever it is? So
Avatar 2's already been confirmed. It's due for release in 2022. I look forward to that.
the only problem is, though, I always find that a follow-on from the first film is never as good. regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
You always get like the first. Okay, on the odd occasion, you might get like the first one or two, maybe three, but that's then as far as it goes. Then once you get past that, it's sort of like, yeah. Sometimes they just try a little bit too hard, or they've put so much into the first one, then don't put as much in the second one, or be a little bit more hopeful, Greg. Like, you never know. You know, all of a sudden he could put out, 4 films within the next, I don't know, 6 years, and there you go.
Yeah, I've kind of lost the plot a little bit with some of the series and stuff I've been watching. I keep watching series just to find out that I get to the end of like the 3rd season, it's been left on a cliffhanger, and then they've cancelled the fucking show, and they're not making it anymore. And it's like, how can you do that? How can you leave it on a cliffhanger like that? It's like that great unfinished. It freaks me out. I don't like it when they leave something with an unanswered question. I hate cliffhangers.
But what, do you not watch like TV shows then that, follow on from one another just in case?
Oh, I do watch them, but I only watch them when I know that, there's stuff to follow on. So generally, I never watch anything as it's released. I always wait until like the whole season's out, and I'll watch the whole season.
or that it's coming to an end, so you can just like binge watch everything.
Pretty much. And that's literally how I watch stuff. If I watch something, I binge watch. I don't like watch one episode and then wait a few days. I'll sit down at like tea time. I'll put it on, and it'll be like, "Oh yeah, wait, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've watched 2 seasons already." Yes.
Yeah, I think the last
Firefly.
the last thing that we done that for was Peaky Blinders.
Never watched it.
No, I haven't watched that yet. I keep getting told I should.
You should.
Angel says you should.
Yeah, I might have to check it out. I mostly like my science fiction stuff like that. So in fact, the only one I've been watching recently that I've actually watched as and when they release an episode is the Mandalorian from the Star Wars saga.
Yeah. I mean, we don't generally watch many TV shows or anything, or films or anything.
Yeah, I'm a massive geek when it comes to anything sci-fi, to be fair. I've watched Firefly.
Stop looking at stuff, James. You can't buy it.
How did you know? I was literally, somebody just sent me a link. Check this out. Don't you want one? And I'm like, where can I order it?
But I saw the look on your face, and it was like,
yeah. Cool.
What was that for?
One of those ladybird spiders.
Oh, okay.
Arius, Wakanari, or whatever they are.
Yeah, something like that.
Wakanari.
I really want one, but the only thing that's available anywhere at the moment seems to be tiny, tiny little spiderlings.
This is Bug Box UK. It's $34.99 or something for
Okay.
There's our one.
a mystery box with that in it.
I don't think I've seen it now in about 2 weeks. I know it's still in there because the food's going.
Yeah, but it's like the size of a micro cricket. You'll never find it in there.
No, this one's actually a fair size.
Okay.
I'd say it's a good centimetre and a half, something like that. 2
Okay.
centimetres almost. Like it's almost at like fully grown sort of stage.
Nice.
Yeah, they are.
And I got that one from, where did I get that? From Southwest Jumping Spiders.
Okay.
Was it? Well, no, sorry, Jumping Spiders London.
Ah, okay.
Hello, Lewis.
But yeah, that was quite a fair size. Oh, it wasn't pricey, but it wasn't like the cheapest thing going.
This.
Good evening, Lewis. Yeah, I mean, ours is still like as a black stage, so I'm not sure whether or not, you know, it's going to be male or female yet. Because obviously the males don't get their, like, the ladybird colours till they're actually mature.
Yeah.
And the females just stay a black colour.
Mm.
They're pretty cool though. I mean, yeah, we definitely. What's on my list? My list is just, it's ridiculous. So big.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that I want to get now.
Have you ordered from Spiders EU?
Yes.
Spiders World EU?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Poland one, isn't it?
Yeah, their postage is expensive.
Yeah. The price of the stuff they sell is pretty cheap though, so it kind of
Yeah.
makes up for it in a way.
Yeah,
What is it, about 27 quid now, isn't it? This time of year?
22.
Okay.
Yeah, but
The packaging's good though.
yeah, I was adding things into the basket, and then I went through to checkout, and I was like, oh, better not. Like nearly a month's rent, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they sell things by the hundreds as well though. So like if you look at some of their stuff, they've got like you buy 100 slings at a time for what works out essentially for like a couple of quid per spider. So I mean if you buy into sort of stock up yourself from resale and things like that, then it's not too bad. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I must say I've never personally bought from them yet, but I do occasionally look, and like you say, it is reasonably priced on their prices of stuff, but it's sort of like I've not actually looked at price of packaging, but
yeah,
things that I have seen, it's sort of like it is a little bit extra for the packaging.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, you think 20 quid from here to Poland, it's not bad, is it?
No,
But
I mean it's only like double the price of what we pay to travel it in the UK anyway,
yeah,
or
I
to
think
like
I've
go and
seen
buy from a shop sort of thing.
I think
I mean,
I've
you
seen
pay like, well,
go on.
yeah, you pay like 12 quid or whatever it is, isn't it? Postage here. So,
They had an LP sling for like £1.20.
Yeah.
Like, how can you do that? Like, so cheap. It's brilliant.
I know, I think I saw like P Metallicas on there for like 15.33 or something.
Yeah, it's always got like weird numbers on the end, and it
Yeah.
like 33, 21, something like that.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, if you're placing a big order, or if they've got like adults that you're after, I suppose it's not really too bad to pay that price.
No, definitely not. No. I might sort of look into it next payday.
I mean, if you do, then maybe I'll have a look and we'll place an order together and we'll split
Yeah,
shipping
cool.
costs or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm up for getting in on that.
Yeah, too right.
And then we just do an
Massive
order
order.
between us. And I know obviously it means then we'd obviously have to pay for like shipping between us when it comes to the UK, but
Work out cheaper
Still,
than 22 quid.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Well, it was 22 for one postage, but then they do like a express overnight van thing, and that's quite a bit more like.
Wow.
But yeah,
Yeah, I must admit, I have had a little browse on there, but I've not looked into it because obviously I knew the shipping was low.
yeah,
Obviously, now where I've got to that stage, obviously where I'm only just buying what I want rather than
oh yeah, of course,
just
yeah,
buying, say, mystery boxes and just having a load of stuff turn up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to limit it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you want to, or if you're up for something like that, obviously, I don't know when I'll be able to, but it probably won't be till like beginning of the year or something.
yeah. Yeah, we could do that, couldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Well, I'm also going to have to be putting out a pokey list soon as well for people on the lookout. So I would like to finish my collection.
There's just so many in there.
15, if I remember rightly.
I thought it was in the
Check.
20s, 22, something like that.
There is 14 in the hobby,
Oh, okay.
and there is 2 that aren't in the hobby.
Which are the Raja.
Sri Lankan-ness,
Okay.
something like that, and Raji, or
Yeah.
Rajiji, or Rajini, something like that.
That's a restaurant down there, that is.
Yeah, that was the one they only discovered a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 2.
What do you think
Yeah,
of
there's
the
14 that are.
the Java? I can't think of what it's called now.
Java Varensis? No.
It's like a tree spider. Java. Hang on, it's over here somewhere. Is it the Rufus?
Oh, what? The Java tree spider?
That's the Flamingicillus rufus.
Yeah.
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 What do you think of them?
Yeah, they're wicked.
Yeah.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning as adults.
I like them and the Hattie Hatties. They almost look.
Very
Jojo.
similar. Yeah, same sort of tiger markings on the abdomen. That sort of purplish purplish sheen to them. But whereas the hatties have got the more of the purplish sheen, the Flamingocylus rufus have the more red coloured hairs on them as well. So they've got a
Yeah,
purplish to red almost transition. They're quite smart looking spiders. Hey Jojo.
Good evening. Yeah,
That was in what I got today as well. One of them.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I was a bit okay.
I think
Yeah.
I got 3 of them.
Nice.
They're,
Yeah,
they
you
look
know,
I had a
one
look
Smart.
at photos like when they're adults, and yeah, they really do look pretty.
Big fast Asian arboreals. Gotta love them.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, one of my hatties is getting on to about 2.5 inches now.
Mm.
So still don't know sex. So
Yeah.
hoping. And the missus keeps calling it Miss Hattie. So she's like implanting it there. It's like it will be.
You will be a female.
But yeah, the last molt we got from her, he sort of destroyed. So I wasn't able to do anything with it.
Always a way, innit?
Oh, one of mine molted today, or today or yesterday. The adult female Chilobrachys huahinai. So, yeah, that's the one that recently turned up last week, week before, last week, whenever it was.
Yeah, I've seen
All
pictures.
sort of merged into one.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a nice big adult female. It's just molted, so once she recovers a little bit, that'll be another nice, really awesome narky as anything Asian fossorial and terrestrial species.
That's it. I mean, if you like the boreals, so I also like the Samopaeus.
Yeah.
See, I know that everyone goes for the Cambridge eyes and the miniatures, but I kind of like the Reduncus.
The orange mouth.
It's got the blonde one, full blonde thing.
Oh, that's the
Or is it the
so the Reduncus is the Costa Rican orange mouth.
orange mouth?
So it's the I don't remember.
No,
I know the one you're on. I mean, the name eludes me at the moment.
yeah. I mean, I've got one, but it's unlabeled. I know what it is, but it's just not got a label on it. Oh, there you go, Polka or Pulcher. Of course, Jojo to the rescue. Look at that.
Yeah. See, I always recommend Psalmopoeus for people that are looking to transition from sort of New World arboreals into Old World arboreals, because for New World species, they're just that little bit more
ballsy.
Yeah, ballsy. They've got a little bit more of a personality, and they're a bit quicker.
Yeah.
So they're a good bridging one for somebody that wants to start getting into Old World arboreals. Definitely get used to dealing with them before you start taking on things like HMAX and Featherlegs.
Yeah, sod that.
And admittedly, yeah, most of mine are slings, but I sort of jumped in with everything everywhere. I mean, admittedly, like, I mean, I'd only been in the hobby a couple of months, and so I ended up with my female Regalis of about 2.5 inches. All right, not massive, but that was like one of the biggest spiders, other than my Orphanacus blue Panay.
Yeah.
Whether or not they've been renamed yet or not, I don't know. But that was the very first spider I had, and that was, to believe, was mature male.
Okay.
She, Angel bought that in the Black Friday deal last year. I think it only cost her about 20 quid.
It's not bad.
What is the best deal you've got on a single tarantula?
I don't know, because I've never really bought singles.
Yeah, I haven't really, but
Just trying to think.
my Brazilian black female was 30 quid. That was a Juby, which I was happy with that.
I think probably my T Blondie female recently one of the best deals I've had.
Yeah.
Because we got that as an like unsexed, so, and from a sort of a friend as well. So they were just like, I don't know if it's male or female, take it, give us 50 quid for it as a sort of 3-4 inch leg span juvenile, and then it molted and we confirmed it was female straight away. So yeah.
What was your first ever tarantula? Oh, sorry, Tom, go on.
I mean, I've kind of been lucky, like I've said before, with mystery boxes from PTs.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had two £50 mystery boxes from them at points, and one ended up the Summer Pass Cambridge Eye, which was female, alongside obviously multiple other things, and our P. Regalis female that was alongside other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come in two separate boxes. So, I mean, you know, you're talking like 30 quid's worth of spider or whatever, 35 quid's worth of spider as a female, just right there in each one before you added everything else in with it. So, but yeah, other than that, I've never actually, I mean, other than I'd say probably, you know, one of the things that I got from PTs the other week, you know, which I felt was reasonable price. But yeah, other than that, I've never really bought any spiders individually.
Yeah.
That one I sent in the chat earlier, the confirmed female.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the male. I got that in a mystery box. And now the female. So, mate, I think they're mint. I think they're, honestly, they're so good. And I swear by them.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think my next lot of mystery boxes will be coming from PTs.
You really, like, it annoys me how close Tom is to them. Like, do you want to swap places? Mate, I'd be up there daily.
Every day.
Yeah, literally. But
Congratulations, Jojo.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like all the shops and stores and all that, but they're definitely top of my list by miles. They're, yeah. And when you message them, they actually write back to you. Like
Yeah.
majority of people don't.
Yeah.
Like, and I really respect that.
Yeah, that's
Or
good.
I find generally, if there's normally I do my orders like late at night, should we say, 10 o'clock, just
When
browse.
everyone's in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. She's sleeping.
Now she knows.
Like that, covering the phone so the light doesn't go in her face. It's all right. Just go back to sleep.
Brightness down.
Yeah, but normally, like, if there's something wrong with the order, Scott normally texts me literally like 8:30 the next morning, going, "Oh yeah, well," and you think to yourself, normally you don't get that sort of response. Yeah, okay, you do get response from people and stuff, but generally it's like midday or 1 o'clock, and
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
think to yourself, well, that sort of response is pretty quick. And
Have you ever? Well, obviously you've been there. Like, is it just like a massive warehouse or something?
not exactly, no. It's like in an industrial estate, but the units are more like offices. So you've got like an
okay.
upstairs and downstairs sort of office thing, but you've got like blocks of 6, and you just basically walk upstairs and you like walk through this hallway, and all of a sudden there's one room on your right that they don't really have anything in. You walk up a little bit more, and then you walk in, and that's sort of like their packing room. And then if you walk round to the right, then that's their room with everything that they've got.
And it's a lot in it.
But yeah, it is good in there. I'll give them their due.
Thanks, Tom. Just rub it in that little bit more. Like,
All right, no worries.
Yeah. Keep going, mate. Keep going. No, I definitely would like
But
to go up there.
that was the thing. Like, Angel had been up there, but then I hadn't, because obviously I'd always been at work, so she'd go and pick it up while I'd been at work. And obviously I'd never really spoken to either Scott or Harry. And then obviously all of a sudden I started messaging Harry about a load of tanks he had that he put up on Facebook. Next minute I went down there, met him, and I was like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah." And next minute it's like, "Oh yeah, I work for PTs," and it's like, "Oh, oh right," and there he is with his big PT earrings in and stuff like that, and it's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah." Then I bought a load of enclosures from him, and it was like,
Is he the really tall one?
Hey,
Is he the really tall one?
yeah, with
Yeah, he's about 9
ear
foot. Like,
holes. Yeah,
not 9 foot, but yeah. Mate, that guy at the shows is brilliant. He's just like, yeah, just take it, mate. Just take it. Just take it. And it's like, mate, they're brilliant. They really, really are. They're genuine guys and girls.
but that's it. Like, that's where most of my enclosures have come from him. So I have PTs to thank for pretty much a lot of my stuff, really. Even though it's not come directly through their store, it's come from, one of.
I want.
Yeah, they are good.
Have you got one, Tom?
I haven't, but I think I was saying about this was it last week in the chat that I saw them in my local reptile shop and they were like 30 quid. So but it's unsexed, so I'm sort of like in two minds on whether, when I saw them, I was in two minds on whether or not that was a good price or not,
Yeah.
But I mean, there's that 2.5 inches, 3 inches easy.
That's not a bad price then, really, to be fair, because they're not very common anymore. I think I think Spider Shop had some in a while back. I don't know if they've still got them in. I don't really buy from the Spider Shop anymore.
Same.
I don't generally, but I do see a few things occasionally on there that I like. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like the Blue Death Laying Beetles, you know, obviously I didn't see them anywhere else. So, obviously, when I bought them, I put in a few extra bits and
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't generally buy from a lot of places, but I mean, I always look on everyone's site before I place my order with anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Just because
find,
I like to see what.
yeah.
I just like to see what else is about before I sort of place my order with one place.
Yeah, I find Spider Shop's better if you're going there to buy specific things. So if you see something on their website that you particularly want, then you buy that. I know a lot of the sub adults that they sell tend to be males when they're unsexed. But yeah, for individual specific things, I'll still go to the Spider Shop. I don't mind so much. But for mystery boxes, I don't think I'll buy mystery boxes from there anymore.
The mystery boxes at the show that Spider Shop do are incredible. Like they
Yeah.
are really good. But for me, you know, as I said, it's PTs all the way.
Well, I've done a couple of mystery boxes. I've done a couple of mystery boxes from the Spider Shop now, and I've done a couple of mystery boxes from other suppliers. And pretty much everywhere I've got mystery boxes from, you usually end up with, you know, a bit more than what you've spent in terms of the value of what's in the box, which is kind of the appeal of buying mystery boxes, because you can kind of get a little bit more for your money, but also there's the surprise element of it as well. But
yeah, of course.
Every mystery box I've bought from the Spider Shop so far, if you then go back onto their website and sort of calculate up to individually what you see, it always ends up being sort of like, well, yeah, it's a slightly higher value, but only by a couple of quid. Not that that's an issue, because, you know, bottom line is you're actually getting what you're paying for.
Yeah.
It feels like other places make more of an effort with their mystery boxes.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so far, I've been most impressed with So Many Legs.
And Yorms, yeah.
Yeah, So Many Legs was good, and Portsmouth Tarantulas was very good. I've ordered from. Yeah, that was an epic box.
Wow.
That was phenomenal. And obviously
and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And obviously the bonus with that as well is that female, that straight horn baboon that turned up in that box is just malted out, and that's a female. So that's one female smashed straight out of the box already. So just need to see if that cobalt blue turns out to be a female as well. And that'll be the two biggest spiders that came in that box, both females. That'll be straight away. That's a higher value than the box. Like, so super happy with them. Creatures from the North, I got a mystery box from them. I thought the value of the mystery box that I got was phenomenal. To be fair, what they actually sent me through was really, really good. I know some people have had issues recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know in terms of what's what with the rest of them, but the little juvenile P Metallica, so it was more of a grown on sling, about 2-inch leg span P Metallica. That's malted. I've sexed that. That's female. So the little P Metallica I got from them is a female. The little T Apophysis I got from them as a grown on sling is now sort of pushing 4 inches leg span, and that's a female.
Nice.
So, you know, that mystery box not too bad. I think a lot of people tend to receive a lot of males from them.
That or, well, I'm not going to say, but I'm sure everybody's watched videos about it.
I actually haven't. I've sort of like not really gone looking, so I'm probably in the dark a little bit.
Keep it that way. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that, Tom, on Newcastle?
No, not quite. Jim Beam.
No.
But yeah, no, Portsmouth Tarantulas and So Many Legs, my 2 favourite places at the moment.
Yeah.
See, I've never bought from So Many Legs yet because they've never done mystery boxes other than Mug of Teas.
Yeah.
So
Which I think is an absolute incredible name for that.
I had to buy that just because of the novelty of it.
I don't own one yet.
Wow.
I know.
Hey, Andy, he'll send you one.
But yeah, I've not bought from them yet, just because obviously when I was doing all my mystery boxes, they don't sell mystery boxes, and
Yeah.
you know, for me at the time, I wasn't looking at buying just individuals and looking at what I wanted because I didn't really know what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's where I got my Alphalix, Andy.
Yeah.
It was something like £3. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me have 5. Well, I got 4 in the end, but
Yeah, it was them I got the Wandering Spiders from. And I think that was like five for £15 it worked out to. It was like
good,
a bulk deal. So I bought the Mug of Teas and I bought those 5 Wandering Spiders.
What did you get in Mug of Teas?
So I got in the Mug of Teas, I got an HMAC, a Cereopagopas von Worthy, and a Chilobrachys species Kian Kraken.
So a nice sort of range of.
Yeah.
Well, I sent a message along with it, like I do with most. Like I say, most of my collection is old world terrestrials and Asian arboreals. So I just sent them a message and said, look, I mostly keep old world arboreals, terrestrials. So please don't send me any like beginner species. And they messaged back straight away and were like, yeah, not a drama, mate, no problem at all. And then when he sent the box off, he sent me a message back on Instagram and just said, I've sent your box off, mate. You know, I hope you're happy with what we've picked out for you. So it was a bit of a personal touch as well. So I really couldn't fault Andy for that.
No, it's genuine, that is.
No, I don't know if he's forgotten about me or not, but he had my mature Incy, so.
Yeah, I was looking at that on the website because I was considering getting it because we've got the adult female. But when I looked back after you mentioned it before, it wasn't available again. So I'm assuming somebody must have bought it.
Was watching the stream, bought it before you could.
Yeah. So still on the lookout for a mature male Neoholotheliense.
No, my 2 are still tiny at the minute, unfortunately. Well, one's still tiny. One's coming on about 2 centimeters now.
I still need to find,
a little way to go.
Need to find preferably a sub-adult male T Blondie as well.
Good luck.
Oh, that was it. The mystery box from PTs that we got from the show that had our adult female, our female regardless in, had the Incy in as well.
Okay.
But didn't know it was male. It was literally one molt off of mature. So
yeah, no, still like I said, the only male I've found available at T Blondie was a bloke that tried to flog him to me for 90 quid.
that's just. I imagine if like you're guaranteed babies from it, then it's. But where you're unsure, it's sort of like that's just too steep. Just
I'm still a bit sort of old school and set in my ways in terms of it's a male.
yeah,
I really want a blondie.
maybe 50
Really
quid.
bad.
Yeah. See, I'd have done that. 50 quid posted. I'd have taken him. There are a few blondies about.
I can't never
I'm
find them.
still on the watch. Don't worry. Just nothing. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I do occasionally come across things that others don't. Or next minute, I'm speaking with someone, and then we sort of get onto a subject of something else, and it's like, oh yeah, I know so and so with this, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I do keep the ear to the ground for you, Wayne.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Much appreciated. Which reminds me, I need to get back onto Andy actually about that LP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wasn't sure what had happened with that yet, whether or not you had spoken to him or.
Yeah, he messaged. So I messaged him after you gave me the heads up, and he messaged back and said, "Yeah, he said I've just been speaking to Tom, not a drama." And then he ended up being isolated. So he got isolated for 14 days, and then sort of like just gave him a bit of time and that, and then he messaged back last week, I think, and said, "Yeah, I'm all out of isolation now. I've got some heat packs and that sort of stuff, so we can sort something out in terms of sending you the mail." So I just need to get back to him and give him the thumbs up.
Then you'll have babies.
Yeah.
Well, a molt or two, yeah.
Which works for me, I'm not in any rush. And you kind of need to prepare for LP babies anyway, because you don't.
Yeah, for like 2,000 babies coming your way, yeah.
You don't just get a slack handful of them. And they're actually a relatively easy species to breed. So, so yeah, just do what everyone else does, and just keep the whole lot of them together until they whittle their own numbers down a bit. But yeah, no, yeah. So that'll be cool. And then, I think my female Balfour is in pre-molt now. So once she's had a molt, I need to look for another mature male Balfour. So, this
they're
time,
not generally too hard to find, though.
No, there's plenty about. Everyone's got like communals and stuff like that. So every now and again they'll pull a mature male out and flog it on.
Speak to Ian, isn't it? Because Ian's got like how many?
Yeah, Ian's got a few.
A few.
Yeah, normally Ian or Graham.
Yeah.
So we'll have another bash. Only this time, I think I'll take the egg sac out and incubate it separately, rather than leaving it. I've always done it with everything. I've always pulled the egg sac. I've always given it a little while, a couple of weeks, and I pulled the egg sac and incubated it. So everything I've ever bred, I've done that, and I've always had no dramas. But I was advised by somebody else to leave it in place, so I left it in place, and it went bad.
No, should have pulled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a bit late now, like, but
Well, it was a species I'd never bred before, so I'd not had any experience with it, and I relied on
Yeah.
somebody else that had. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm not necessarily saying that was the issue, but obviously, if you pull a sack, obviously because it went bad, somehow moisture got into it. If you pull a sack, you have a little bit more control over moisture levels and stuff like that.
help it on its way, innit?
So I think I'll do that next time.
Well, that's the thing with it. It's, you know, when it comes to breeding, either you're going to have a good egg sac or you're not.
Yeah.
You know, you do obviously get those 50-50 ones or something that half are bad and half are good, but unfortunately, sometimes you're just never going to know up until you do actually pull that sack.
Yeah, I did it with an Asian Eculata that I bred a few years back. In fact, she made me an egg sac for Christmas. So I went up to do a last minute feeding. That was on a Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, went up to like check on everything, and she was actually making the egg sac at like 10 o'clock at night on Christmas Eve. So that was like, yay! Christmas morning, she's got a perfect little egg sac. It was brilliant.
Nice.
But I left her with it for, normally leaving with it for 10 days to 2 weeks before I pull it. So I got to sort of just after New Year, went in there to go and like start thinking about pulling the egg sac, and she was munching her way through it. So it was obviously not a fertile sac. She ate it. So
Not good.
that was unfortunate. And she nailed the male as well. So it wasn't even like I had an opportunity to do any extra pairings. Like, he went in, he did what he did, and then she just nailed him straight away.
It's horrible when they do that, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I've always kind of looked at it, as much as it sucks, I've always kind of looked at it from the perspective that the female is about to produce an egg sac full of little tiny spiders. If they eat a really big spider just beforehand, then they've got all the nutrients and everything that they need to be able to produce a healthy sac.
Yeah.
I don't tend to leave the males in for the purpose of being eaten, but sometimes it happens, and sometimes there's no way of getting in there to get in
There's
between
a
them.
horrible echo. I don't know if anyone else can hear that.
I don't know, I can't hear an echo.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can a little bit.
Turn mine down a little bit. If it's mine. I mean, the speaker's over the other side of the room. Unfortunately, it's slightly behind the wall, so turned it up a little bit.
So, what about you guys? You thinking about breeding anything in the future?
Yeah, not for a few years. Snakes, really. But
I mean, yeah, if I breed, then it'll probably be
sorry,
pokies.
before you go any further, Tom. Steve has just joined. So,
hey, dude.
Carry on, Wayne.
Evening, Steve.
Evening,
No,
dude.
it wasn't like that.
But yeah, if I do breed something, then it's probably going to be pokies or Hattie, Rufus. I want to look at something along those lines.
Mm.
That or now that Steve's here, GBBs.
Oh, I love GBBs.
Oh, yeah,
They're
definitely.
so. Those or curly hairs. Oh, they're amazing. Or LPs.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
got 4 GBBs, and one's a confirmed female.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely would love to breed GBBs in the future.
Not like GBBs. GBBs
We've had
are
this
awesome.
discussion before, though. It's like if GBBs were communal, do you think that they'd be more popular than
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
13.
I know,
That's
Steve, but
definitely Steve's favourite, that, isn't it? But they work so well in the horror themed enclosures. That's the thing.
yeah, but then again,
now that can be the build suitable for a GBB.
it's all right. Just after 6 months of it being in there, you generally don't see any of the rest of the background or anything else.
Steve's definitely got the advantage on that, though, isn't he?
What, that he has one?
If it was a specifically a GBB enclosure build, Steve would definitely have the advantage there. He's had a lot of practice.
What else could it be?
I don't know. I see a lot of terrestrial builds from Steve.
Why? I was just going to say, why not something arboreal?
Yeah.
Ah, there we go then.
Because
look at
I know
the
he has done, like his guillotine build was arboreal, and I know that there's a few others and bits and pieces like that. But it's sort of like, I mean, this is in a way though. I'd prefer to see it on a scale of like the slightly larger Exoterra, the 30-30-45 or 12 by 12 by 18, whatever you want to, something along that scale.
Okay.
But then it also depends on
look
obviously.
Look at the cogs and wounds there going round like. Look at this.
But I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Tom, I think you've just volunteered yourself to set the parameters for the.
Well, like I say, this is just me throwing some little things out there for it. Steve's got a 45 empty.
Right, Stephen.
So I've got an empty one as well at the moment, actually.
Strange all this, isn't it?
I did.
Would you like to explain what you did say earlier that you would like to just so Steve can hear what you said?
Absolutely. So I said that obviously getting into this enclosure building stuff at the moment, I'm getting a bit of a bug for it. I'm really, really enjoying it. And as I said to the lads earlier on, you cannot better yourself without challenging yourself. And what better way to better myself than to challenge the absolute master himself? So I thought maybe just for a bit of fun, Steve, you and I could maybe do a build-off.
In a 30-30-45.
Yeah, no crazy mad hype or anything else. Just a nice friendly build off.
And we'd have to discuss a date, and what we'd do is
just put game on.
Ooh. If you'd like, we can do the reveal of the enclosures on one of our streams or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really good, man.
So if we're going to do it, how are we going to do it? Are we going to do it as an anonymously judged sort of thing, or
you could either do it as anonymous, or you could come onto the stream and then do it, and then maybe have a week then for people to leave a comment in the stream or something.
And then on the
and then
next
the
stream,
following week, then we could.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's cool.
Or like you say, you could leave it anonymous, and then we could do like maybe a separate video from one of you two, or me or James could put up a video instead, so that then no one knows who it's coming from.
Yeah. Sounds good.
You two could just send over your videos to one of us two, and we could piece them together and then put up the video, and then.
Steve's on this. Steve
Do
is
it.
asking for the theme already. Like, what?
Be halfway through it by tomorrow afternoon.
Steve's got his building stuff on the table right now. He's ready to go. Right, theme. Any ideas, Tom?
Well, Angel's already sent this sort of thing to him for a bit of an idea anyway, but I like the idea of an avatar theme.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know James hasn't.
No, it's just like I said, it's just blue people. Well, it's not just blue people, but
They're not. See, like you could do stuff like the floating mountains or floating islands or whatever they are. Sorry, or you could do one of the mountain sides, or or maybe you could incorporate one of like the. I don't know what they are, dragons, monster, whatever. I can't remember the actual name of the flying things. I can't remember them now, but you could have one of them incorporate. There's so many different scenes of it that you could actually put into one.
okay.
Yeah, I did. Danielle, I did see that one. I saw that after I was going to give the idea to Steve. I actually had an idea of that about 6 weeks before that video come out.
Well, if this is stuff that's been done, is there a theme that we can find that's not already been done? Something different?
How about maybe like, again, I'm not sure if it's been done, but like a music theme. So whether it could be like a style of music or like a genre or a band or something
I
like
don't know.
that.
You could do something to appeal to kids. How to Train a Dragon.
Water feature. Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
Well, maybe like Steve says, do an Instagram vote. We'll throw a few ideas together and
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good shout.
get a little vote. And
It's a fair way of doing it as well. I'm not even just do a throw out a few ideas. Sort of like maybe just get people to comment on a theme, people to come up with a theme that's a little bit different, and then just look at seeing what the most common answer is.
but that's it. You could like throw a few ideas out there and then just put other at the bottom, and like people then could comment or whatever they would like to see.
Yeah.
Or, well, yeah, but you do something that's not necessarily famous or well known from where Steve's from, and Steve does it to where you're from. So like your area.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. Like something, I can't really explain it very well, but let's just pretend I didn't say that one.
Or I mean, you could go with like TV, film, or music.
Yeah.
You could just like pick, say, like an era of music, and like incorporate something, or
Yeah, basically like what Jojo just said then. That's what I was getting at. Thank you, Dardan. That's what I was getting at. So like wherever that person is from.
Yeah.
I don't know.
well, we'll have to.
But I like the idea of sticking out like an Instagram post and seeing what people come up with.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Rocky's idea of water features though.
Well, that's it. If we spread it to, you know, that any sort of animal could live in it.
Yeah, but
And
then
it could open it up a bit more, because obviously, you know, majority of the stuff people build as of such is more invert related.
Yeah.
And I know that you can put, say, like balls of water in, say, like H Gigas tanks and stuff like that, but never heard of it in anything else.
remember it's a 30, 45.
Yeah. So the trick to that then would be, if you're putting something in that doesn't necessarily need standing water or anything like that, is to build a water feature that looks like water that isn't actually really water.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, to save money on like pumps and stuff like that, and it like
Yeah.
you don't want to be going down that route. Yeah. I think it'd be a good idea, really good idea. But yeah, we'd do a post or something, should we?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to leave that one to you, James.
Okay. I'll see what I
Because
can come up
obviously
with.
I don't use Instagram.
I'll send it over to you anyway when it's done.
So yeah, this could be fun.
One of you is gonna regret it. Who will it be?
Well, you've seen my very basic start of something, haven't you? So,
Yeah.
and all the extra bits that you were saying about, we've already got lying around. So,
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about torching it to start with, just to like smooth out some bits and
Okay.
then going over it. Then from that,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to do that, actually.
you know, it just gets rid of those sort of almost defined edges on it.
Yeah. Yeah, like pulls back all this, like the, yeah.
Are you on about
excess bits from when you've,
Are you on about the back bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Do it 100%. That looks so good.
Be very, very careful if you decide to torch it.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't do it where you're sat, like
literally half an inch too close. Half an inch too close with the torch, and the whole thing's gone.
Do a pet
the size of a postage.
I mean, in a way, I'm not too worried about, you know, because it's all that learning curve on it. And I mean that I've got sheets and sheets of that sat around here. I've probably got 2 spare sheets of, you know, 8 foot by 4 foot. So it's not like I'm short of it.
Cool. You know, the problem now is I had plans for that 30 by 30 by 45.
I know.
There's a specific spider that was supposed to be going in there. I've already got the design for that ready to go. Now I'm gonna have to scrap that idea.
You could still, well, maybe still do the idea.
I'm still gonna do it. It just now means I need to find another 30 by 30 by 45.
It's strange though, right? After I sold that one to you, I saw one on Facebook only close to me for 25 quid. But I ended up passing it up because obviously I've still got spares sat around that I'm doing nothing with.
If you
And I
see any
really
more,
don't.
if you see any more that are local and you're swinging past or whatever else, if they go in for sort of that much, sort of 15, 20, 25 quid, just grab it, mate. I'll send you the money.
But that's the thing. I've seen the odd occasional one with a canopy as well for like 40, 45 quid. Okay, the canopy's not normally very good, but I mean, I've got one on top of my milk frog tanks, and what I've done is I've put a LED bulb in it instead. So it's not even being used, you know, with a UVB or anything else in it. It's just purely being used with a typical household LED bulb just to give the extra light. But, you
There's
know,
one in
depending on
Weymouth for 30 quid. One in Wales for 25 in Neath.
Yeah, it costs more in petrol than it would to buy a new one.
Oh my word.
So it looks like we're going to do this then.
Oh yes.
Best get my creative hat back on.
Well, you know, Steve was only saying about doing something different like last week, you know, or week before even, sorry. You know, it was sort of like, you know, he was saying about doing something and that he wasn't sure what he was going to do. So this puts a challenge for both of you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's where I find out if I've bitten off more than I can chew, eh?
It'd be all right.
I just really, I really enjoy doing it, and I'll get something out of it. It'll be fun. So what's going to happen then in terms of like judging it at the end? What's going to happen with the winner, loser? What?
I don't know. The winner gets the other one's enclosure. No.
The loser has to do the bomb hot sauce again.
Oh, sod that. Oh, by the way, Tom, I literally posting something for you tomorrow. I sorted out a little. Yeah, well, I put it in a pot. So.
Who else throw a pot?
This is at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do it, so just add that bit in there.
Right. I
was doing a post, wasn't I? Right. What did you want the post to have? Some sort of like suggestions on there, or
Is Wayne froze?
I don't know. Hello, Wayne.
I didn't know if it was mine in there for a second.
Wayne. Mr.
I mean, look,
Wayne.
he's talking about spare ones, yeah. And I mean, I got one.
Oh, just one sat right there, like.
Mm.
Coming back. Hey!
Oh,
Yup. So it suddenly flashed up at me and told me my battery was about to die and my computer wasn't plugged in.
So I'm just going to do the Instagram page now. What did you want to put suggestions on there of of stuff to pick from, or
I don't mind, mate. I'm happy to just go with the flow and see what other people come up with. If people just want to comment suggestions,
okay?
you just have to specify on the post that it's a 30 by 30 by 45 arboreal build, because that will help people to come up with ideas as to what could go in it.
How can I word it?
you know, you could do an Independence Day build. You know, you've got Washington and the thing sat, the big alien ship sat over the top of it.
Yeah. So he's finding ways to incorporate stuff like that. It's actually suitable to put stuff in as well.
Yeah.
How do I word it? What should I? Give them a. So I'm just talking to myself.
That's cool. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to make a fresh cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's right.
It's okay.
Raspberry or chocolate between cake layers.
Raspberry, mate, all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, chocolate and raspberry. Raspberry. But since it's a bit quiet, anyone in the chat want to pop up? Say hello?
Does anybody want to pop up? Sorry. Right, so that's what it looks like, Tom. You'll see it on the Instagram. Oh, you don't do Instagram, do
No.
you?
Hello, Sarah.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Fancy seeing you round there. She made a YouTube just to see Wayne. Oh, I'm joking. She hadn't wrote that. I just presumed. He's all right, Sarah. We're looking after him. As you can see, he's not there.
You know, he's deserted us.
He has to make his own coffee. Like, what is going on?
And he's even been that terrible that he hasn't even made dinner or tea, or depending on where you're from.
Food. Says he's just going to raid the fridge later. I probably shouldn't have told you that. Never mind.
He'll come back in a minute and go, no, I never. I said none of this. That's secretly what he's going to do now.
She messaged him, have you eaten? He's put, yeah, and
Look, honest. Comes out with a little sandwich.
Oh.
But truthfully, it's just 2 slices of bread on top of each other.
Yeah, just nothing in the middle, just bread. A bread sandwich. Hang on, isn't that just called bread? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I suppose I've done that a couple of times. So I've gone to work with just 2 slices of bread and made a crisp sandwich.
Oh, mate, crisp sandwiches are
Yeah.
smoky bacon all the way. Oh, so
No,
good.
mine's cheese and onion.
Yeah, they're all right. They're not the best.
Ham sandwich.
Salt and vinegar Pringles. Have you had them?
Mm.
You just burn your face off.
I know, yeah.
Like, how much salt do you need on a crisp? Oh, nearly fell off my chair then.
And you're not even the one drinking.
No, I was going to. Oh man, I read that really quick. I thought that was moist you just put then. I'm sorry, Sarah. No, we don't. Well, Lidl do a kind of version of it, but it's not.
Ah,
Here he is.
hello, wife.
Hello, wife. We said that you had to make your own cup of tea, your own food. You know, like you're lost, aren't you?
She's plenty busy enough where she is.
Oh, Steve has shared my post.
Oh, let's have a look.
I think he. Oh, actually, I don't know. He's just messaged.
So did you finish? Have you finished off your sweets that you're eating on Sunday yet?
Mate, don't be silly. They're still in like.
I'll see you munching them away.
Well, what I thought, if I leave the lid open, they go hard, then I can just throw them away, and then I don't feel so bad. Yeah, I got a weird mind, like.
So you can't be desperate to put anything in them yet, then.
No, I'm using my Spider Shot ones, the square ones that stack. Yeah, I got some of those, so I'm using them up, and then
I don't actually own any of those yet.
mate, they're really good actually. They do the smaller one and then the bigger one.
Mm.
If you would like them, Danielle, I willingly tip them in a bag, not a bag, an envelope, and send them to you. There's loads of them here. It comes to something in it, like, you know you're getting old when you get excited. Not excited. You get, it's the wrong word. You find a plastic pot enjoyable. Like, I think they're mint.
Yeah, we were exactly the same. As soon as we started with tarantulas, it was like everywhere you went, every aisle, it was like, oh, look at this. And it's just like this tub with something in it. And it's like, we can throw away what's in it. Yeah, let's get it.
Shannon says, like, do you want to come to B&M? And I'm like, no. Oh, actually, yeah, they got a plastic aisle. And just a whole aisle. You're like, wow. And Wilkinson's is pretty good for that.
Some of the best ones I've ever seen is when we used to go to Costco. And you know where you've got the aisle that's got all like the American style sweets and stuff? Remember, you used to get the American sourdough pretzels that were in those massive, great big plastic barrels.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Oh, somebody's voted on Instagram. When I say somebody, I meant Danielle. Sorry, Danielle. I'd be able to just digging myself a hole.
You might have to stick that on as an actual post though, mate, because you put it on your story, it'll only stay up for 4 hours.
Yeah, I will go through the story, write them all down, and then I'll upload it onto a post.
Cool.
I've already thought this through. Let's chat about biltong. We haven't done that in a while, shall we? I'm joking. Every week it's biltong jerky.
So I think my wife might have just missed what I've got myself into.
More than likely, she's catching the arse end of it.
Yeah. Oh well.
And I'm still going for Movember. You know, the werewolf look still.
Jojo's hungry and don't know what to eat. Black Forest Gatto.
Chocolate fudge cake.
Lasagna. Oh, I'm sure you would.
Yes, dear. I'll give you a ring when we're finished on here. Oh.
Just a big thing of nachos, Jojo. That's all you need. A huge plate of nachos.
That was my tea last night.
Well, everybody should have cake in the freezer. Not even in the freezer, just put it in the fridge. Do you know those family cheesecakes that says serves 4? You're like, 4,
No.
1.
It's a bit like those packs of like 4 eclairs that are supposed to, one each.
Mate, you hoovered them up.
Yes. Yeah,
They were like one bite. Just...
Eclairs are definitely one of my weaknesses.
No, eclairs are marzipan. You don't need nothing else in this world. Just that.
Seriously, what is one eclair?
It's not even an appetizer.
One?
No,
I'm sure it was air anyway.
That's why they don't sell them in packs of 1.
I feel like that with profiterolles though as well.
Yeah.
Like, why would you give a box or a bag or what, however you buy them, why would they do them in like 12s if 16. It's not for one person?
No, that's it. And they only come in 12s, or you get the extra large packs, which are 24.
Yeah.
You could maybe
5 people.
You could maybe justify
Sorry.
sharing a 24 pack by letting someone have a couple.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
May,
You know,
maybe one to the dog, like, but yeah, like,
yeah, packs of 12. They serve 6. Who's going to have 2 profiteroles? It's not going to happen.
a very sad, lonely person.
That's got to ration them for the week.
It's not like they fill you up or anything, is it? It's just, pastry that's full of air and a bit of whipped cream with some chocolate sauce on the top.
They're well nice though, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, profiteroles are basically mini sort of bite-sized eclairs, aren't they, really?
Yeah. They're like mini cream donuts. Ooh.
They come in the same category. Definitely not for sharing. Rosemary roasted.
I like those pack of 5 cookies that you get in like your supermarkets, because you sit there, you eat them, but you don't know you're eating them.
Yeah.
In a way, but then you put your hand in, and it's like, Christ, have I eaten 5? Nah, someone's had one of these, haven't they, when I ain't been looking? Mate, they're
I've
just
never
so
done that.
nice. They're like,
I've never done that.
nah.
What, like a box of Jaffa cakes?
Yeah, see, I'm not
Jaffa.
overly fussed about Jaffa cakes, to be fair.
They are so good.
But why are they just
I don't
boxes
get-
of 12?
Because the factory's just stupid. No, but what I don't get is the people who bite around it and then bite the chocolate. Just do it in one, mate. Just get it over and done with, innit? Don't muck about with it.
None of this full moon, half moon, total eclipse rubbish.
Yeah, just total eclipse in one, like.
Just gone.
I mean, it's like a Pringle, isn't it? Really, you try and bite a Pringle in half, you ain't ever going to win.
No, it just crumbles up
You
and
end
falls
up
all over
wearing
the
that
place.
with it.
You've got to
Yeah.
shove it in.
Yeah, you put a whole Pringle in, so you put a whole Jaffa cake in.
Yeah, but you don't eat one Pringle at a time, do you? You just sort of grab about 9 and you like.
Big stack.
And everybody's done it. When they take 2, they turn around the other way and go, "Look, I'm a duck." You're like, "No, you're an idiot."
Well done. We've seen it all before, but
Yeah, it's like,
good
"Oh,
job.
I've never seen that before."
See, everyone's got their particular ways of eating stuff, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
See, I have a particular way of eating Pringles. So if you look at Pringles when you take them out, you ever notice that all the flavouring's only on one half of it?
I've never looked, mate. I just grab a handful and go.
Yeah, so now I have to turn the pot round so that when I take them out, the flavouring's facing the right direction.
Isn't that
that's the bit that's got to go
OCD?
in. That's the bit that's got to go in first.
They make those tubes far too small, though. You can't get your hand in the bottom, innit? You're sort of like, not flat, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but see, that's because they've made them suitable for children. We're not
What, the
meant to
tubes
have
or the
them.
crisps?
Yeah, because we eat too many of them. So, when a child gets them, you can tell the child to stop and take them away from them.
Jojo, I do that as well.
I took Chris. Oh my god, I did that today. I did it and I went, why did I do that? But I was on my own.
It's a weird thing I've always done. If I don't tip the crisps out and stuff, but if I've got sort of like roast potatoes on a plate, for example, if I've got a plate full of roast potatoes, I have to eat them from smallest to largest. That might sound weird to some people, but to me, that's perfectly normal.
Just a tad, yeah. Why?
And I don't know. It's like a weird, like obsessive compulsive thing I've always had. I always have to, if I've got food on a plate, like for example, if you get whatever it is and you cut it in half, but there's a slightly bigger half and a slightly smaller half, I have to eat the smaller bit first.
That is bizarre, isn't it?
So yeah.
I don't really know where to go with that with me.
Well, if people didn't think I was a weirdo before, they certainly do now.
That is different, isn't it? I suppose.
I mean, like I say, everyone's got their weird way of doing things. It's like people that make tea and coffee. You know,
I was just going to say, how do you do your tea?
whether you put like milk in first or water in first and stuff like that.
You never put the tea bag, the sugar and the milk all in. Oh, it just annoys me.
No.
When I see somebody do that, I go, I tell you what, forget it, I won't have it. And they're like, why not? I'm like, you're doing it wrong.
The bit always makes me laugh at the people that say when they make a cup of coffee and they put the milk in first and they say, oh, it stops the water from burning the beans if the water's too hot. It's instant coffee. It's been roasted within a half inch of the pot. So yeah, I mean, I suppose yeah, it is a bit weird, but yeah, fair enough. I get that.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
It breaks me when you see all the dip from a dip pot all like scraped up the sides of it and stuff. Yeah, looks messy. Scoop out the middle of a dip pot. But Sarah's just said so. My stepson, Sarah's eldest, he has a thing about pizza crust. So he'll eat a pizza, but he'll leave the crust, and then he lines all the crusts up in size order, and then eats them smallest to largest.
Wow, that's really weird.
I guess we're just a bit of a weird family, really.
There's nothing wrong with that. You've got to spend a week in my house, Christ.
Well, like I said, it's our little eccentricities that make us different, isn't it? Keeps us interesting. Yeah. Who wants to be normal? I don't know. Who wants to be plain?
I dip to the side of the pot, but generally I use the whole pot all in one sitting. So
you got to do it from the middle. Try it next time, Tom. It tastes so much better.
I'll be sat there going, it's just for you lot. Like holding this mighty chip.
Oh. So no weird quirks or anything like that, no? Just me.
I can't say that I do.
To do with food or life in general? Because there's loads to do with life.
Oh yeah, everyone's, there's always something
right.
Quite weird.
Do you have the toilet roll in front or behind?
Don't care.
Yeah, no, I do you know there's always one person now. So like, do you have it coming down in front or down from behind?
Down in front.
Yeah, it's got to be in front, innit?
Yeah.
I was chatting to someone about this, and they're like, "No, it has to be from behind." I'm like, "No, it doesn't."
Just the way I pick it up goes on the holster. As long as it's on there, and I don't care.
No, there's a prop. Yeah, there's a prop. Yeah, I've seen it, mate. So much for let's not have all the hype like last time and have a friendly competition, eh?
Team Steve, it's on.
What have I got myself into?
Yeah, no,
I would like to be on the receiving end of it.
I mean, when I get a curry, I mix everything together rather than the same as spag bowl. I mix everything together.
Yeah, that's a lot of people do that. That don't really annoy me.
Other than that, that's about it. I don't have any strange ways of eating things. I used to on a roast dinner save my roast potatoes till last, and then mash them all up with whatever veg and
Oh,
gravy
see,
left
no, that
over.
is good. That is good.
I
But
get,
I
I
don't
get,
generally.
yeah, I get the saving them till last part, but not mashing them up. I think you mash up a decent roast potato. That's ruining a decent roast potato.
Nah, it tastes so good. Don't know why I
But yeah,
went that high. Sorry.
save them till last, and then use your roast potatoes to mop up all the leftover gravy.
And bits of broccoli and that's
Yeah, I
good.
don't generally do it anymore, but I used to.
Oh, oh. I will promise that I will do my absolute best. That's the most I can promise.
And no,
But at the end
Jojo,
of
I
the day,
normally eat my Yorkshires first with veg inside of them, potato, bit of meat,
You
bit
got
of
to eat the
gravy over.
Yorkies as you're going, I think. Yeah. Leaving it till last, they just go hard.
yeah, Yorkshires have got to be eaten while they're still warm. I think still warm and
Yeah.
still crispy on the outside. Once they start soaking up gravy and they go all soggy and floppy, they're not so much fun anymore.
No. It looks like a giant tea bag, doesn't it? Just sat there on your plate like,
Yeah,
look at me.
I do love a nice Yorkshire pudding though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do
surprisingly
these,
difficult to get it right actually.
yeah. They do these really big ones in Iceland, and they're like £1 for two. And literally, you just put your roast dinner in it, roll it up, and gone. It's great. Christ, I've missed a load of this chat. Right.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever made my own Yorkshires. It's one thing
It's
that I
okay,
do
don't
cheap.
worry, it's just cheaper to buy them. Yeah, it's easier to buy them.
No, never ever bought frozen Yorkshire puddings. I always make mine.
Oh, fair play.
I add extra stuff to it as well though. I don't just make a plain Yorkshire pudding. I add a bit of extra flavour into it. So a little bit of mixed herbs, a little bit of pepper, bit of salt, some garlic powder.
And some chili. No, not chili.
So
Well, next weekend I might have a little bit of a stab at making my own chili sauce as well.
yeah,
No?
Well, I've got about a dozen fresh jalapenos in the fridge
ooh,
and about 8 Carolina Reaper dried chilies up on the side.
Nice. Just put the seeds in.
So we'll see.
Do I get to try some of yours when you make it then?
Well, if I do, yeah.
Done.
Just I mean, I'm not very good when it comes to stuff like that, so we'll see.
Low and slow is the trick. Did anybody want to join in? I know Tom asked earlier, but there was no
Yeah,
reply. Come say
who said
hi.
something back?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get
Anybody want to jump in?
Rich.
I just need to respond to Steve's little yeah. Yeah, Jojo, you're welcome to jump on if you want. Let's wait for Tom to get back because he'll have to add you. And yes, I'm definitely going to need all the support I can get in this little competition with Steve.
You'll be all right.
It's all a bit of fun at the end of the day.
That's it. Yeah, as long as you know.
No pressure. I enjoy what I do, so I'll enjoy building it, and then we'll just see what the world thinks.
Yeah. Tanya, hello. Tanya, would you like to join in? You're always up for a bit of a giggle.
Hi, Tanya. I think we asked Jojo as well, but she's not responded. Oh, she says no.
What's the what? Premier thing.
Oh, it's a little thing you put up saying subscribe. It just goes up like a post that's waiting to, like a video that's waiting to premiere or something.
What do you mean?
So you put on a post earlier on YouTube.
Did I?
Yes. So it's just your logo with subscribe underneath it. So it's gone up just saying subscribe, and then it just shows like
Oh, I know what that. Right. Yeah. Ignore that.
Evening, Tanya.
Oh,
Sorry, I've just come back.
oh dear. Tanya's had a bad day from the looks of things.
It should have been. It should be gone now. I don't know. Oh, that's not good.
Even after doing my snake tank, like, and speaking to you about it, Wayne, like, I've still seen so many people saying about a bioactive setup.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I'm going with all of mine. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more involved in the initial setup of it and stuff, but in terms of general maintenance and stuff like that, they kind of look after themselves a little bit. So long as you've got the right sort of substrate, lighting, your cleanup crew, and that sort of stuff. Bioactive's like the way forward now in terms of keeping most things.
But now, what substrate would I use for that?
So make your own. Make
Yeah.
your own substrate. Because of where they come from, you want something that's a little bit more sandy and clay, something that sort of packs down a little bit. but it's still pretty much, you can use a bit of coir for water retention for when you want to raise the humidity a little bit, which avoids crappy sheds and stuff like that. And then it's pretty much just a sort of topsoil, sand, clay, but best to use like a clay type of topsoil. So depending on where you get it from, the Westland stuff seems to be like really fine and really good quality.
Yeah.
If you get like the cheaper bags of stuff that you find at most of the like garden centres and stuff like that, you usually find that it's got quite a lot of clay mixed in with it. That's really good because it really sort of compacts down. But then when you mix it with a little bit of sand and a bit of coir, it really does help to sort of compact to a bit of shape but retain a bit of moisture. There's like a standard sort of mix that you can adapt to pretty much anything. And then all you do really is control the level of humidity within the substrate by adding more or less water, depending on whether it's a more humid species or a more arid species. But that's all I've done with all of mine. I've gone with this really basic base level mix, and then you can just kind of add a few bits and pieces in with it. The bonus with a bioactive mix is it naturally helps to start breaking down any of the waste matter and that sort of stuff. And then when you chuck your custodians in, they do some of the maintenance for you.
Well, I think I've still got about, I don't know, 40 litres of the Lycocell at the minute. So once I get through that, then I might change it.
Well, with the Lignocell, you don't really need to change them out completely. So generally, sort of spot clean, and then if you spot clean significantly and take a lot of stuff away, then you can add a little bit more to it. Only really once a month, depending on how bad it is. Only really once a month you need to do a sort of a complete change. So it should last you a while.
Yeah, well, that would be the next thing that I'll look at for him, is then putting him in some sort of bioactive.
Yeah, just don't make the same mistake I did the first time I did a bioactive substrata in a bioactive setup in a wooden viv. I didn't seal the inside of the viv, so all the gaps where it all comes together, all the water got into that, and then it started expanding and blowing out.
Yeah.
Realised when I gave it a spray down and all the water pooled in one corner and suddenly started pissing out the gap at the bottom. You're like, oh shit. So yeah, you got to give them a good coat of silicone on the inside, just on the gaps really. But yeah, bioactive is a good shout for most things. For most things now.
I mean, I'd wish I'd thought about it or gone down that route before I'd bought all of this lot for it.
Yeah.
Because I ended up buying 50 litres. So it was quite a fair lot of it really, just for one enclosure, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so that's what I said when I bought all the stuff to do, change all those out onto a more of a bioactive mix. I've got still half of what I bought left. I've got way more than I actually needed. So I've got tons and tons and tons of stuff here now. Those giant bricks of coir that I bought were amazing.
Yeah, I think after Christmas I need to do a little shop for stuff like that, like substrate stuff. I mean, I'm pretty low now.
Yeah.
That place that you got the cork bark from, they do substrate. I don't know what it's like, but
yeah.
How long did it take to get to you from when you ordered it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I ordered it on the Friday evening, and it was here by like Tuesday or Wednesday. Can't remember.
Oh, because of the weekend, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was only like 48 hours or something after that it was here.
It's pretty good going, mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they did all right with me when because I asked them for mixed sizes rather than just one big thing.
Mm.
And I mean, I ended up getting 3 or 4 tubes. I can't remember now.
Yeah. Yeah, I still need some smaller tubes.
Yeah. I got a really big piece. Like it is huge. I mean, it's probably about 5, maybe 5.5 foot.
Wow.
But I don't want to break it to use it, because at one point I am going to be using that. But I need cork bark now.
I know I was like that with all my tubes. Left them
Mm.
as tubes for as long as possible, and then eventually it just got to the stage and I was like, you know what? I know I like the look of them, but I really do need them. Otherwise, I've got to go and buy more.
Yeah.
And at the
I've done
time, I was being a bit cheap, and it was just sort of like, I've got it, so I will just use it rather than going and spending that extra.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I'd wish that someone done like mystery boxes of cork bark. You pay like 50 quid, and then all of a sudden, like all these various bits turn up: flats, rounds, half
Yeah.
round,
So
all from like 2 inches up to whatever. And you just got sometimes you might get like a dozen small rounds with like half a dozen little flats or something, or one time you might get something like a big sort of like 3 foot round turn up with a couple of small flats or something like that. But hey ho, you don't get anyone like that.
yeah,
They do them at the shows, isn't it? It's like a £5 bag, £10 bag.
I can't remember what the company's called now, but there's one of the companies that they specialize in like cork bark decor, plants, and all that sort of stuff. And there are all the shows. And I can't remember the name of the company, but you can buy bundles off of them very much like that. And one of my mates who owns a reptile shop, that's what he used to do. He used to contact them and just buy a van load at a time.
Yeah,
And
the only ones that I know really are Cork Shed.
yeah, it wasn't them. Can't remember
No,
the name.
no,
Last time I physically saw them was at Bugfest.
Is it like JK Exotics or something like that? It's like 2 initials and then
Yeah, I think so.
they do like bags of substrate at the shows for like a £5. It's like a 10
Yeah.
kilogram bag.
Yeah, they've always
Yeah.
got tons. They've always got tons of like tropical plants and all that sort of stuff out, and all that sort of stuff as well.
Good.
Yeah,
I've got their card somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, they're really good actually.
yeah.
Yes, I've joined it, Jojo. Yeah,
I shall go and check. I will join.
Cork Shed. I mean, they're a little bit pricey, but you're paying for exactly what it is on the website.
Yeah.
They have everything sort of like individually priced, and they show all their dimensions, and they've got pictures of everything. So you know exactly what you're buying.
Yeah.
That is the good thing with them. But I would say they are a little bit on the pricey side, but it's one of those that unless you go to a reptile shop, then you're never going to know exactly what you're buying.
Yeah,
It is really
Like with
expensive
us,
in reptile shops,
it's what the link that you gave us, James, is you pay by the 100 gram or whatever it is, isn't it?
yeah.
yeah,
So you don't know exactly what you're going to have turn up. Whereas cork
Still,
sheds,
But that's the cheapest I found it anyway. I mean,
yeah,
like, and the quality's pretty good. I mean, well, I like it. But yeah, you can message them. Like, if you put an order in, say you had, I don't know, 20 of them. If you write cork bark as small as possible, they're normally pretty good, and they do sort of. But the box, it turns up, and you're like, oh my god, like,
yeah.
didn't know they made boxes that big.
I don't know. Mine turned up in a canvas bag,
Just a bag.
just a bag.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you order anything else or not?
with just tape wrapped around it. That was it.
Well, I've never had that. Normally the Mario's come in a bag like that.
I thought it was quite strange as well, since I ordered rounds. That could be potentially just like
Flat.
broken.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Oh, see, he's already got it. He's put his post on. Everyone's already going in on his post and commenting hashtag Team Steve.
No, where'd you put it on? Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wayne, this is where you've got to, show him up now because, unfortunately, like you said, Steve does have his followers, and a lot of Steve's followers probably won't be following us.
No.
So, now you have to like prove that point and show the upcoming.
Mm. Yes.
Oh my god. Not only has he done one, but he's done two.
Something tells me he likes his competition.
Once Steve gets on something,
He's on it.
Thank you, Danielle. See, I'm all about the sportsmanship of it. I don't get overly competitive and stuff like that. I'm quite happy to just just let's have a friendly competition.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm not going to be going out and doing funky videos on what's that, reface and all that stuff.
I love
But-
Spider-Man.
So yeah.
Tanya put I love Spider-Man. Each to their own.
And there's the winner of the random comment of the evening.
Yeah. I love spider bums. Oh.
no, just you, James.
You are?
What?
My wife just commented, really? I don't know what you mean, dear. What you on about?
I think that you're not competitive and all that. No,
I'm
no,
not.
no. It's like, really?
Not at all.
So, Izzy.
I might be a little bit sometimes.
Sometimes normally means all the time.
No, not all the time.
Majority.
Just when it involves him.
No, it's not. It was with the last competition I did. I wasn't really competitive with it. I didn't get overly excited about it. I wanted to. No, honestly, I wanted to win because mine was the better enclosure, not because,
You are such a legend. I wanted to win because mine was amazing.
So
very true.
No, you know what I mean. So like I said, I didn't go around sort of just trying to rally votes for me because I wanted votes for me. I wanted people to vote. It didn't bother me. Like if people voted for the other enclosures because they thought those were better, I would much prefer somebody to vote based on the fact they think it was a better enclosure than mine than based on the fact that the person that built it was more popular than me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm happy to lose to a better enclosure. Absolutely no problems with that at all. I'm not a sore loser. I'm not going to do a Donald Trump and refuse to accept defeat.
Leave the country.
He's such a wally, mine, isn't he?
That's not true.
What's not true?
Hello, Jack.
Evening, Jack.
Hi, mate. You all right?
Yes, I know, Jack. You're probably still waiting for the video to be uploaded. Don't nag me.
Tom, when is this video coming out?
Which one?
Anyone would do, mate.
I know. I think it's like 3 weeks now since I've actually put up a video. There's things all here that all been done, all in the pipeline, but I just haven't got round to finishing them.
I'm like that. I still haven't done my video of those new arrivals that I got the other week, and I'm still in the process of halfway through editing that.
I've got a few ready to go, but I'm doing them in like a certain way because if I uploaded a certain one, it wouldn't make sense the next one. So, but I've got them. Yeah, so you'll see.
Me, I've got 3 videos that are pretty much done. I just need to do endings for them.
Okay. Well, no, Jack's got the Rona.
And as soon as then there's like, yeah, as soon as the endings are done, then I can put like 3 videos up. But till that point, I just don't want to put up half-finished videos.
Yeah.
Nah, that's fair enough.
That, or I don't like putting up just sort of like 3-minute videos. I don't know, it sounds a bit strange, but I just don't like putting up something that's like any less than about 5 or 10 minutes, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a mix of both. So I want like sort of normal standard ones that are sort of 10 minutes long or so, but I want to chuck a couple of shorter ones in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind say like throwing just a few like odd feeding ones in there here and there, which are like obviously, quick things.
Yeah.
but generally, I don't like them being any less than 5 minutes. It's just a personal thing.
Yeah, for me, it sort of tends to end up being a little bit more about the upload speed, because if I do anything that's more than 5 minutes long, it takes me like 6 hours to upload it.
Yeah, see where Angel does all the uploads and stuff for me. She just generally does it from her phone. So she just puts her phone on overnight and wake up the next day and it's done. But yeah, I really should finish these ones off because I've got things in the pipeline for like another 2, maybe 3 videos after that as well.
Nice.
And I mean, the original plan for us was to try and get one up on a Sunday. You know, a weekly thing on a Sunday, but it sort of like was here and there, and basically it was just when we recorded something new, it was like up the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a longer one that I'm working on as well at the moment, but I need to get around the wider tarantula community and see if I can get some like pictures and videos and stuff off of some other people for what I want to put together. Because one of the things that I've been dealing with quite a lot over the past couple of weeks is sort of a bit of advice to people that are having tarantulas that are dehydrated, finding them in death curls, having dramas with molts, a few with impaction, and some other bits and pieces like that. So I've kind of had in the background, I've been running a little bit of a research project into like the causes of impaction with tarantulas. Don't know if you see much about it, but it seems to be quite a common, well, not a common thing now, but a lot of people are losing tarantulas due to like issues with not being able to poo properly and stuff like that. So they've been impacted. So I've been sort of looking into that a little bit. I used to, like way back in the day, I used to do bits and pieces on like basic care for tarantulas when they're not doing well and stuff like that. And I want to put together a video. Night, Jojo.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for popping in.
I want to put together a basics of critical care for tarantulas.
Yeah, that's really good, man.
Sort of going back to Billy Basics, I suppose, on like how to deal with tarantulas that are dehydrated that you find in death curls and stuff like that. Dealing with like ruptures to the exoskeleton. Doing a little bit on like tarantula physiology, so people understand a little bit more about how they work and why things are going wrong. Yeah, just something like that, a bit of an educational piece, I think.
That's good.
So there's lots of like care and husbandry videos, but not so much of that sort of stuff out there. So, and it's stuff I've had to deal with in the past, and I know a lot of other people have had to kind of deal with it as well. But the thing that tipped it over the edge for me was watching was what I was looking through somebody's posts on Instagram, and they'd got a tarantula that unfortunately was suffering from impaction. It was absolutely fine, you know, and then over a period of a couple of days got really sluggish, and they then started contacting like the people they bought it from and that sort of stuff, and following other people's advice, and the advice that was given to them probably didn't actually help the tarantula in any way, shape or form, and could have potentially made it a lot worse. So
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
I was just looking at some of that and thinking, well, maybe there's like I could do a thing like that to chuck on the channel. I don't know. If it's something that people might be interested in.
Yeah, I must admit, I've only ever had one dealing with impaction, which was from actually one of my Rufus, Flamingocilus rufus. But I didn't even realise. I didn't actually know. And it was only then when I come to feed it, all of a sudden, it was actually out and about up the top. Because generally, obviously, where it was only tiny, like a sort of Ronin sling sort of size, it decided that it was going to sit up at the top of the pot when I opened it, and I could sort of see it had actually healed itself, and it had a little scar down one side of its abdomen. But other than that, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, so you're thinking of like ruptures to the exoskeleton and stuff
like
that.
Sorry. Yeah. Other than impaction, sorry, yeah.
So yeah, like generally with spiderlings and like younger species, they'll kind of sort themselves out unless it's really, really bad. And tarantulas are really good in the way that they can push themselves into a molt cycle. So if you have a tarantula that's got an injury, they will actually push themselves into a molt cycle so they can repair that internally themselves, which is pretty smart. And I've had it a couple of times with a few that have had like an issue or taken a knock, or you notice they've got a small leak from a crack in one of the joints on their coxa or something like that, and then they'll push themselves for a molt cycle. And we're talking tarantulas that maybe have only molted a few weeks before or stuff like that. So they're definitely not due a molt, but they go through a molt cycle. So you realise that actually they can bring it on. So they can push themselves for a cycle to rectify damage. So they create a new layer underneath and they can stop it. For the most part, if they get any kind of ruptures in the exoskeleton, they don't bounce back if it's a large rupture. So you kind of, as a hobbyist, if you want to do something about that, you've got to find a way of sealing that yourself. But the impaction, so Rocky's just said it there. One of the things that I found in the bits that I've done research wise is that some of the commonalities with people that have had tarantulas that suffer from impaction have been people that use like calcium fed feeders, specifically things like locusts as well, and also people that use tap water with their spiders, but they live in a particularly hard water area, and they seem to be the most common factors. So I'm wondering, it's clearly, obviously, something that causes their poo to become rigid. So yeah, and that seems to be the common theme. It's the calcium that people are feeding their feeders on, because they're also feeding them to their lizards and that sort of stuff. So they're thinking, if we sprinkle calcium dust on the feeders will ingest the calcium, and then the lizards will get the calcium through the feeders. But the problem is, if you're feeding those same feeders to tarantulas, you then overload your tarantula with calcium. A lot of people that also feed like mice and stuff to tarantulas as well, the odd one here and there is not a problem. But if you continually feed vertebrates to an invertebrate, they can build up quite dangerous levels of calcium in their system, which makes it very difficult for them to poo.
Well, that's the thing. We live in quite a hard calcium built up area for water, but I use Tap Safe, and generally my bottles are sat with no lid on constantly, so everything all evaporates, and I don't, and I use that water for everything, for my frogs, and I've been using it for my geckos now for like 2.5 years, like that, and that's the way that I do it.
We generally do the same. Obviously, we've got
unless I then go down the road of like getting, you know, one of these jugs with like water filters built into them, and then
Yeah.
you know, using that water, and you know, but this is the way that I've found works and works well
Yeah.
for me. As long as I don't use that bottle for at least 24 hours by
Yeah.
the time I put it in there, generally, I mean, generally an open bottle sat there for 48 hours before I even use it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's by that time as well. If you're using, if you are in a hard water area, if you're not using it direct from tap to bowl, then it's not too much of an issue. If you're leaving it sat static, obviously the natural sediment and particles and stuff in the water start to sink down, or they'll stick to the sides. So it's not too bad if you're leaving your water out. The other option is to use like you say, you've got the jugs, the Brita water filters that have got the filters in the top. That's what we've got. So the inverts will get given like filtered water, or water that's at least been stood there for a little while. Yeah, we use that as well, obviously, for the fish tank. Aquasafe's quite good. So Aquasafe's quite good for areas where you've got quite a high chlorine content in your water as well. Because you get, especially if you're in a large rural area, a large urban area, generally the water's over treated with chlorine, and you can smell it when you run the tap almost. The levels of chlorine that's in the water, so that the Aquasafe helps with that. But yeah, calcium fed feeders, locusts, and hard water seems to be the most sort of process of elimination, the most common themes in.
First thing with our water, like you can turn the hot tap on and you can actually watch it, and it looks like it's like completely white as it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then you've got to like run it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it'll come out clear. So it's not great. I mean, I was actually thinking about collecting up rainwater instead, but
yeah, downside to that is rainwater tends to carry a lot of pollutants from the atmosphere and stuff like that in it.
that's the thing with it. Yeah,
it's great for watering plants and things like that, because you've got all the nitrates and all that sort of stuff in the water that plants need to grow, but not so good for feeding to animals. Although, you know, in the wild, they would just, although to be fair, most of them come from parts of the world that are not overly polluted.
exactly. But yeah, I generally use my water like that. Just purely. I mean, originally I was just using pure bottled water straight from shop.
Yeah.
But then I was also finding out that it does lack in a couple of things that tap water doesn't. So I found that then tap water with like a tap safe, whether or not that's Aquasafe or ReptiSafe, because they both basically do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so regardless, but you know, my reptile shop sells TapSafe but doesn't sell ReptiSafe. So it's sort of like, you know, I can buy the big bottles like that for like 12 quid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So where they do exactly the same thing, I just felt rather than going out and buying bottled water, then I'm probably going to end up putting TapSafe with anyway.
Yeah.
I may as well just use my tap water, leave the bottle caps open on it, and you know, use the TapSafe anyway.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And I mean, it's been working for the red-eye tree frog for the last like year, 18 months almost. So
yeah,
I mean, if it's been working fine for her, then I can't see any problems with it really. No. Considering they're a lot more delicate when it comes to stuff like that than you know, just a reptile.
Yeah. So, yeah.
3 hours, 9 minutes.
It's good going. What are you up to tomorrow, gents?
What?
What about you?
Well, I'll be getting up with the kids when they get up in the morning, getting them ready for school. And then I better get a rush job on getting this other enclosure finished because I need to make room in workshop and stuff for starting a new one.
Hmm.
So I shall be doing a significant amount of work on this Aztec build tomorrow, I think.
Any ideas what you're going to put in it?
No idea.
No.
No clue. So looking at it's, I still want to put a Peruvian species in there. I want to put a Peruvian species in there because it's based on a Peruvian jungle ruin, and that's my little, again, like that little slight obsessive compulsive thing says if it's a Peruvian ruin, it should have a Peruvian species in there.
Yeah, that's
But
fair
that
enough.
narrows it down to like you've got a couple of the Syriacosmos, but they're a dwarf species. This enclosure is going to be too big for a Syriacosmos.
Yeah, considering you're only talking like inch and a half to 2 inch at tops for
Yeah.
most.
And then you've got there's a couple of the Pamphobetus species that come from Peru. But obviously Pamphobetus is an incredibly large genus, and a 30 by 30 Exoterra is going to be too small for one of them.
Yeah,
So
unless you're housing a juvie.
Yeah. So that leaves me with one option, which is the Bumba cabocla.
I got two of them.
So it would be they're not a huge species. They don't get massive. A 30 by 30 Exoterra would be the perfect size for an adult one of those. They are also found in Peru, which means it matches up with the setup and everything else. However, the little tiny Bumba cabocla sling that I had unfortunately passed away, and I can't find any larger ones, juvenile sub-adults for sale anywhere at the moment.
Both of mine came from PTs in a mystery box. Not at the same time, but
Okay. I didn't like them when I first saw them.
Yeah, I mean, the only other, I mean, I know it's a little bit off of, the whole Peruvian, but I mean, a Phormictopus.
Yeah, but again, they top out at a pretty big size.
Yeah.
So I still think a 30 by 30 cube might be a little bit small for it as an adult. Like you say, as a juvenile or something, it'd be fine. But ideally, once this is set up, I want to put something in that's going to stay in there. But I thought about the Phormictopus because I've got two juvenile Phormictopus here. But like I said, it doesn't. They're not from Peru.
Yeah. Nandu, Colorado Velocis.
Yeah. Where are they? They're from. Where are they? Brazil.
Yeah, but they're just next to Brazil, so they prefer it slightly more damp than, say, Chromatus. So they prefer like the more sort of 70-ish% humidity rather than like the 50% that a Chromatus does.
Yeah. So, and obviously that's the other side of it as well, because it's going to be a live planted setup. It's going to need to have a decent level of whatever's in there is going to need to be able to tolerate a decent level of humidity. So something like that would be ideal. That's what I might have to look into doing. I don't think I'm going to find what I want to put in there, so I'm going to have to dial it back and maybe just go with that. But once it's done and it's all set up and stuff, then I can revisit that. You never know, something might pop up in the future.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else off the top of my head. I was just like looking around, just trying to think what I had that would potentially be ideal for something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've got a little Brachypelma homorii, but obviously they're an arid species, so I can't really put those in a. They don't like humid setups.
Yeah, unless you put some sort of miniature aloe vera plant or something instead of
Yeah.
vine. But yeah, but then it's trying to
Takes
find
away jungle look
some.
then, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I even thought about potentially sodding the idea of doing tarantulas off completely and going with something like some forest scorpions that handle much higher humidity.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, because that's your other option that you've got with it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Or a millipede. Although most
Yeah,
millipedes
but then
don't
depending
do-
on what millipede you get, obviously depends on your substrate, like
Yeah.
for depth, because
And you're probably never gonna see
generally,
it.
rule of thumb, you want, I think it's 1.5 times length of millipede as substrate depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Centipedes. But most centipedes tend to be arid species anyway, so
Yeah,
I'll figure something out.
yeah, and I suppose it's not tall enough really for a, I don't know, tailless whip scorpion.
um, yeah. I mean, they're pretty much arboreal, but they're not massive. They just need to have stuff they can climb on, really.
Yeah,
Mm.
as long as
So,
they've got some. Yeah, that's it. I
so
think
yeah,
they
with a
just
rock,
need something to hang off of a molt as well, don't they?
yeah.
Yeah, they do
So
upside
with a,
down.
yeah, with a rock backing and the mesh top.
Or a vinegaroon.
Ah, they're weird looking things, then, aren't they?
You won't never
Yeah,
see it though.
almost
It'll
like
just be
boxing
hidden
gloves, sort
away.
of claws.
Yeah. But yeah, as you say, that's the downside is they tend to hide a lot. Once they've sort of burrowed in, that's pretty much them. They'll
That's
sit
them
and
done,
wait
like,
in the entrance. They'll sit and wait in the entrance to their burrow. Whereas at least the tailless whips are a bit more active.
yeah, you
Yeah,
did
you
well
do
more
see
than
them
the
a little
boys
bit
like.
more, yeah.
So yeah, need to find a home for about 20 giant prickly, giant thorny stick insects as well.
So you got more than 10 then?
Yeah, and
You can put
another
them
load's
in there.
hatched out as well. So I think we've counted about 24 all in.
You could put them in there.
Nah, it's not really tall enough, and they get big.
Yeah, but a space for a while. Yeah, then it's just changing it all out.
Yeah. So these ones top out at probably about 6 inches, and they're quite chunky as well. So quite an impressive looking species. They're not what I bought them as.
No.
They were. I bought them off of. You ever come across Virginia Cheeseman?
Yeah.
So I bought them off of her, and she had them advertised as Uracantha calcarata, which are the big, giant spiny stick insects or giant prickly stick insects, whatever they are. So that's what I thought they were when I bought them. And then as they've grown on, I've realised that they're not. They're a completely different genus and species. Because we went and bought some Uracantha calcarata because there was no males, and I wanted to breed them. And the Uracantha calcarata that turned up a completely different species. So yeah, the kids love them. They're awesome, and the ones that I've got, they're not like the other ones that are a bit narky. These are like really good beginner species of stick insects. They're not defensive. At worst, if you get startled, they just play dead.
We'd have a jungle nymph.
Say again?
I would have a jungle nymph.
We got 2 of them. We got a pair. They're impressive.
Ooh, any day I'd take one of them.
Yeah.
They are wow.
Yeah, they are impressive. The downside to those is that the eggs take potentially 18 months to hatch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got a while to wait until these are adult anyway, but we've got a pair. And obviously, once they breed, once we collect the eggs up, that's 18 months potentially for, well, they reckon 12 to 18 months, depending on the temperature you keep at them.
Long time, innit?
Yeah. But they are awesome, and they're massive. Big, giant, bright green, prickly things.
On the back of their legs is the spikes in it, which they sort of
Yeah.
dig in and scissor their prey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how incredible is that? It's like, oh wow.
Well, the other
Yeah.
ones that we've got, the Uracantha calcarata, although with the jungle nymphs, it's the females are worse. The females have got the longer spikes on the back legs, and obviously they can bring their tails up as well to kind of look like a scorpion as one of their defense mechanisms. But the giant spiny stick insects we've got, it's only the mature males that have got the really big thorns on the back legs. And they're nasty with those because they've got it on the thigh section, and what they actually do is grab you with the back legs and pull you in.
Yeah, they sort of like,
spikes.
yeah.
And that bloody hurts as well. Yeah, not fun. But yeah, we've got them all separated out now, and there's another load of babies just hatched out. So seems like because I give them a spray down every couple of days because they need the higher humidity, and it seems like every time I give them a spray down, 24 hours later, a bunch of eggs hatch out, and there's a new batch of babies in there.
Message Sam from Bug Realms here probably. That's if he hasn't already got them.
Yeah, he likes his stick insects, doesn't he?
Just a bit, yeah.
Well, it's funny enough, actually. Go on, mate.
Well, considering most of his died off, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because obviously he was out foraging, and he said that they must have, sprayed something on it.
Yeah.
He did lose a lot of his.
Yeah, I'll give him a shout, see if he wants them.
Where'd I go?
But yeah. Yeah, it was funny actually because it was one of Sam's videos I was watching when we first got the stick insects. I was sort of having a look, and we were looking at like, these don't look right. They don't look like what they're supposed to be. So, and we were looking at his video on the Uracantha calcarata, and that's when we realised that actually the stick insects they've sent us, that's not what they are. They're something completely different.
Yeah.
So.
Look at the size of this beetle here. Massive, isn't it? No, it's not real. It's just a little bit faster. Somebody gave it to me. They went, "Oh, I've seen this on a photo of you," and I'm like,
yeah. The crazy thing is, though, mate, for the species of beetle that's probably a life-size replica.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, probably actually. Yeah. I might actually just put it in an enclosure and just be like, yeah, look.
Yeah.
I might go IKEA tomorrow.
Is IKEA classed as an essential business, is it?
Well, they sell food, innit? So
they sell just about everything. What are you on about?
yeah, they do. Holiday? No, they don't sell holidays. Imagine that.
You need a kitchen, go there. Need a bathroom, go there.
Yeah.
Need units.
Their meatballs are well good, though, aren't they? Tell me about their meatballs.
Had the what?
Meatballs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. They good.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that go shopping in IKEA specifically so they can stop off and get meatballs.
I've never done that, but actually, I might put the Christmas tree up tomorrow. Is that wrong?
Don't even think about
What was that?
I might put the Christmas tree up.
Oh no.
Yeah, but then it gets out of the way because I'm the only bugger that can go in the loft, isn't it? So
Yeah, not till the 1st of December in this house.
if it was my way, up Christmas Eve, down Boxing Day, done.
Well, that was always the traditional, like, Christmas Eve was the day you spent putting up all the decorations and getting the
That
tree
was
up
when you
ready.
used to bring the tree in, wasn't it?
Yeah. I tell you what, after the last time we had a real tree, I'm not having another one again.
Man, them little needles get everywhere.
Yeah, our cats like try and live in the tree as well. So the amount of times they had it over.
Hmm. Anyone for a bag of cookie? No, it's not cooking. It's calcium. Looks like it is, doesn't it? You would have thought that they put like a label on it or something that says
Yeah.
calcium. I
Imagine
get
you're
that.
buying that in your local reptile shop and got stopped on your way home.
Yeah, I get that through the post. I was like,
No, well, on the bottom.
She's still lurking in the background as my wife, you know. She's like, yeah, that's what you think.
I think I might have to call it a knit.
Yeah, I've got to get up with the boys in the morning. So
Well, it's been emotional. Not emotional, but you know.
that's been good. It's always good.
Yeah,
That's
we have a
it.
laugh.
We've made a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
Me? No. You said it. I just. Yeah,
Just-
it's probably my fault.
No, it'll be good fun. Be good fun.
So I
See,
think she's expecting the Christmas tree up before she gets home.
No, that's Sarah's code for you're going to go to work one day and come home and it's already going to be up.
And there's going to be glitter all over.
Sarah, do it next week. That'd be so funny.
That's
Make sure that you put one behind him so that it's on the stream.
Yeah,
See you
even
later.
if it's a little one or something like that, you know.
Oh, that's all right. That's an ornament. That doesn't count. Right.
Yes,
See you
I
later, Tanya.
am going to say
Right.
bye-bye.
Cool.
No
I think,
worries. Right.
Call it a night as well.
Well, we'll let Wayne go and eat as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see you later, Danielle.
Bye.
I have a new one he doesn't know about. Don't to what?
But don't worry, you can speak to her about it in a minute, Wayne. Right.
You look just like Tintin then.
Thank you, Danielle. Right, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure as always, and thanks for joining the chat. For you guys that are left behind,
thanks
good
for
man,
everyone.
take care, stay safe, and gents.
And we'll see you all again next week.
I guess we'll chat. Offline probably.
Yeah.
Cool. Cheers, guys. See you later.
See you later.
All right. See you
Bye.
later.